Hello there, and welcome back.
What is this place?
Disconnected.
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 Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
I'm starting to feel disconnected.
You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to another live Thursday episode of Reconnected, here with somebody that I've been hearing a lot in my ears over the last few months, Mr. Bob McCully from the Split Your Head podcast. Bob,
Hello.
thank you for hanging out.
I went to clap. I'm like, wait, what?
I don't normally go for the clap, but I don't know. This is genuinely an episode I've been anticipating for a while. Like, I truly enjoyed being on your show, and I really want more people to hear it. So I'm excited to share your wonderful voice with the masses tonight.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm here for the masses. So let's talk Blu-rays.
We will be talking Blu-rays. We also got to talk about Split Your Head. We got to talk about some other stuff first. Obviously, it is 9/11, which is going to bring a dour note in itself. So got to bring that up real quick. Obviously, 9/11. Thanks, Bob. I love the attitude. It's obviously like it's 24 years. It's still, near and dear for a lot of people in their memory. We got multiple New Yorkers already here in the chat, and the amount of impact that has had on multiple generations is never going to be able to be measured properly, obviously. But now we've had a crazy week on top of that. Multiple things happening across the country, multiple things happening in one day. And I am always being accused of being political on this show, but I really wanted to avoid as much as I could this week, considering it was going to be 9/11. However, the world had a different plan. And so all I really want to say tonight, which is not much, if you want to hear more about how I feel about everything, you can message me or check out what I've written on the Discord over this last couple days. But the big thing is that clearly everybody should know that the time is now for a change. It's time for looking at what our country has devolved into, and the time is now. I'm not somebody that is celebrating anything that has happened this week. I think that's a despicable feeling to walk into. However, I do want to recognize that somebody passing doesn't erase the things that they've said and done. The only thing that truly exists after death is the truth. And that experience is here for us in the recorded medium. So I'm going to avoid as much of that as I possibly can, because this show, in a way, is all about escapism. We're all here for movies, which we all love. And I'm here to escape with Bob tonight. So, Bob, let's transition from that into a happy note first. It is I'm wearing my Deaf Crocodile hoodie tonight because in the chat, it's Craig's birthday. Craig from Deaf Crocodile. Happy birthday, Craig.
Happy birthday, Craig.
Yay,
53
Craig.
years. All right.
I am genuinely constantly inspired by Craig, and I just want to say that you are one of the most important people that has worked in this industry, that has gave some sort of lasting impression on me. Craig, you're amazing. I appreciate you. And I am so stoked to see what is coming in the future from you. Bob, let's bring the spotlight back to you, though. Tell everybody what Split Your Head is.
What is Split Your Head? It's originally started as like a horror podcast, but as time went on, I think that my brain split open and I wanted to kind of reach out further beyond just talking about indie horror. So it encompasses a lot of things like cult films, indie films, queer films, pink films, and occasionally death metal bands if I can get some people on. So it's honestly at this point just become like, what can I curate that all feels to kind of fit in with sort of like a message or a universe that I'm pushing out there, and just trying to get like artists out that I want people to follow and interesting things to talk about.
And somehow, in every single episode, you do an incredible job of that, because you are a great interviewer. You are a wonderful cheerleader, I guess is a good way of saying it, for
Woo!
kind of everything, even
Okay.
9/11. Just kidding.
Aw.
But the big thing is that your passion for learning about what the people are there to share is infectious. And no matter what episode of your show I'm listening to, I feel like I walk away going, well, shoot, now I have to spend like 30 days deep diving into something because my goodness, I want to envelop myself in everything they just talked about. So you're doing
Sick.
great work, and I want to say
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I just try to look at it like, what would the conversation be that I would want to have if I was just meeting this person at like a show or a bar or just like hanging? Oh, thank you, Corinne. Just hanging out with this person. We're just friends, and then just feeling like I can make it a bit more personal and I can be a bit more engaging and maybe bring in my own experiences and yada yada.
You've done that very well.
Thank you.
Very well, I would say. Let's go into some of your episodes specifically. One of your
Okay.
most recent episodes was with this
Yeah.
individual, Dakota Newt, who's in
Yeah,
the chat.
Dakota.
We were just talking before we went live, and
Mm.
we were talking about some of the episodes that I've heard that I've loved, and again, not recency bias, but the amount of just unfettered passion in this newest episode was so great. Dakota and Chris, I obviously massive like podcast crush on them, but what you three together pulled off was just an incredible conversation about a genre that sort of like for some people purposefully gets overlooked. Like they genuinely push it to the side because it's icky or whatever in their minds, but it's really an interesting deep dive into like socio-political context and the cultures based around some of these films. So tell us about this episode, just because I kind of want to promote this specific episode because people need to go hear it.
Mm.
This episode on Pinku films with
Pink
the
films,
two
yeah.
from the Two in the Pinku podcast.
I mean, I've been following Dakota and his husband Christopher for a while now on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
And I think seeing their writings on Letterboxd really makes you realize like watching over 600 Pink films is so insane. And in Dakota's like reviews on Letterboxd are so thorough. Like he's got links, he's got like, this movie played originally with this other film and this screening and blah blah blah. Like he's the kind of person that like should be the next Jasper Sharp, in my opinion. And I've been saying, oh well, thank you. I just saw like I like his tattoo. And I've been saying like Dakota, you have to write this book on gay Pink films. Like, this doesn't exist. People need to see these kind of things. They need to learn about it. And I mean, what better people to write about it and to talk to about this subject than them, because they have such a like thorough and excited interest in the topic. And those are the kinds of people I want to learn about things from. People that are like genuinely excited, that are spending like so much of their free time watching these films and tracking them down, like going onto like eBay auctions to find like the final like VHS that like only one other person in the friggin' world has. Like, this is crazy. But it is also an extremely disturbing kind of film as well. So seeing people so excited about that is crazy. Oh my God, it's Jeremiah. Shout out Jeremiah.
Oh, that was a great comment. Yeah, I mean, Dakota and Chris's stories about like, I just woke up at 3 a.m. and I finally found the last one. Oh, we're gonna get this.
Yeah.
Like, that's the sort of thing that I adore. And going into a genre like this to say, man, we cannot find these films, and we're gonna do everything we can to find them and work to make them available for everybody. That is speaking my language. So yeah, I love that episode. But I also want to know what is your couple favorite episodes? Like, what do you think highlights Bob the best?
Me, holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't sum it down to two. I think the first episode, oh Mikey, what's up? The first episode that I was like, okay, that's my favorite episode, and this was in the first season, was my first time interviewing Louise Ward, who is like a trans filmmaker from based out of like West Coast Canada, and her episode just schooled me on so many experimental, disturbing, transgressive films. Her experiences like making films with Ryan Nicholson, like just her whole life was so fascinating. And I think it was the first time that like an interview ran on for that long. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, it felt like 3 minutes. And actually, awesome enough, I just got to meet her in person when Castration
No
Movie
way.
Part 1. Yeah, Castration Movie Part 1 just premiered in Toronto. And it was the second time I'd seen the film, but I got to meet her and see the 4.5 hour long film in a theater with people, which was insane. And she was just as cool as I thought she would be in person. Such an amazing person, and really just the kind of person that makes me so stoked that I do the show, because like I'm getting to see artists grow and become like these real big pillars in the community. So yeah, I'm gonna just stick with that one answer, that one episode.
That's a good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, I think so.
You have focused a lot on music, as you indicated, and
Mhm.
not to like, hey, everybody go listen to me because you hear me all the time, but I did an episode with Bob, and somehow we kind of devolved into the same. Like a lot of my episode is focused on music as well. So
Mm.
what place has music played in your life?
I mean, it's been the main source of creativity for me since like
Mm.
literally 8 years old. Like I was like on the swing in the backyard writing songs just by singing them. Like I've been making music all my life. And there was a point where I went to film school trying to go into film, and I kind of jumped away from that after a couple of years. So really, this is a point in my life where I have the least amount of musical output going on, even though I'm still trying to get a death metal band going on top of like working full time and doing Split Your Head and everything. But yeah, music has just been so important and kind of the main way for me to express myself and communicate and heal myself through trauma that I've gone through and things like that. Yeah, so yeah, I never thought I would really get into podcasting, to be honest. So somehow I'm here.
So what was the impetus for that? Why did you start that first episode?
Okay, so first off, I started working this job where I was listening to a lot of podcasts,
Mm.
and I still kind of like I have a new job this year, but I'm still kind of listening to a lot of podcasts at work. And I think after a while, it's sort of just like innate in me that if I'm really into something, I want to be a part of it and I want to like create, you know what I mean? And so I think that was sort of like sowing its seeds in me. And then Seth Brundlefly, who was popping up earlier, Jeremiah, he was running a horror website called The 13th Floor. And he just wrote the same thing.
It's the same one. I'm just highlighting him for
Oh,
everybody.
okay. I was like, he just what? So he asked me to jump on board the site and write for it, and then it turned into him and I wanting to start a podcast. And so he was involved in like the first few episodes, and then kind of had to step away. And I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying this, and I wanted to continue it, and here I am.
I mean, I love that many people that got into podcasting were simply just, oh, I like listening to podcasts and I can probably do that. And then they bring something unique. Everybody's got their own unique perspective, their own experience that colors the way that they're going to speak on things. And when you find somebody that shares not even necessarily like your views, but even a shared experience or shared trauma or shared outlook or hope or hobby, whatever, there's always something personal to connect to. And I feel like as you've been able to go on through a myriad of topics, because there's so many that I could just shout out as like great episodes, whether it be music or film directors or random people that work in the industry and various podcasts, whatever. There's lots of different types of guests that you've had, and every single one you have pretty deep connection. So what is the research process? Do you like actually have to research for every episode, or is it kind of innate because you've already been embroiled in all of it?
I mean, I if it's a filmmaker, I try to watch as much of their output as I can. If it's a band, I try to listen to their music.
Yeah.
And I guess that's pretty much it. It's funny because I've had a few times where there's similar. Ooh, we'll see. We'll see. There's a few other great podcasts that kind of cover similar ground to me, like Sick on Cinema, Quality Violent Cinema. Like they've interviewed similar kind of people to me, and I've
Yeah.
listened to their podcasts, and then like just before interviewing the same person, and then it's been like, oh shit, like how do I not? Okay, but I want them to talk about that. How do I bring it up? And then there's times where I'm just like, man, I already listened to you talk about this. I just want you to talk. But I think it really is just like honestly, I don't like interviews that are just question answer, question answer.
Right.
I want there to be kind of a messiness to it, you know, and I want people to be more candid. And I
I agree.
think that kind of like leaning into that maybe helps people loosen up or maybe say more. Butterboy shout out. Okay, I think that's Sick on Cinema. I think because they're lactose intolerant or something. But
Also nice to be fun.
So research. I just try to take it all in. I don't know if I really want to. I think sometimes getting too much information sets you up for asking about certain things when I want that feeling of discovery to happen and people to kind of reveal things about themselves, you know?
Yeah.
I've also learned too, and this is kind of a weird, and maybe you've picked up on this, Ryan, for yourself, is that sometimes asking a question that you're wrong about something and they're like, no, it's actually this, ends up bringing more interesting answers.
I
Do
get
you know
that a
what I
lot,
mean?
actually.
Yeah, and that kind of thing can really help your confidence as an interview to be like, like I guess there's not really a bad question per se. It's really just how you continue the conversation.
Yeah, and to be honest, I've over the last couple of years, started doing more and more interviews. I had never interviewed anybody before the show, and now I get people saying like, "You're a great interviewer," and I'm like, "Okay, I guess." I just kind of
Hmm.
hang out with the person, and
Yeah,
we just talk. Like, I don't even see that sometimes as an interview. It's not. I don't know.
yeah.
It's so organic, and I've had people ask like similarly to what I just did to you is like, how do you prepare? Or, do you write your questions ahead of time? I don't write a single thing. I don't do anything to like I'm going to cover these topics because if I do, that it like stops you from going down the fun, interesting, random avenues that you would
Mm.
potentially go down.
Well, okay, that is a good point, but I think sometimes I will write a few questions because I don't know if this has happened to you. This happens to me once every like 10 episodes, but I get a brain fart and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm recording. Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh man, there's actually I'd almost want to share it with people and put it up online, but when I was interviewing Philip Scott Gorgons, who directed 29 Needles, which is like an unearthed film, and he was one of my first interviews, and I was like about to ask him something, and I was like, oh, I forgot I was going to ask you, and then I'm pretty sure I just like froze and I felt all numb and I was like drinking water, and he was so nice. He's like, it's okay, don't worry, it's okay. It took a good minute and finally I like bounced back, but I showed my wife the footage of it later and she's like, oh my god, this is the most awkward thing I've ever seen. One day I'll release all the like bloopers, as they put it, because I've had a lot of really fucked up bloopers over the years.
Yeah, I've certainly had my fair
I
share of
can only
random things.
imagine, yeah. But you're doing it live, so it's like a blooper can happen now. What are we
Yeah,
gonna do?
I mean, how many times did our internet screw up before we went live? At least 3 or 4.
Oh, this is what I don't understand. I switched from the 5G to the regular, and now it's working better.
I don't get it, but we're here
Yeah.
for it.
We are, yeah.
Physical media and Blu-rays. What are you into? What are you collecting?
So lately, a lot of Japanese. But yeah, I mean, I just like everyone, I've been a big Vinegar Syndrome guy for a long time, and I will say their announcement of the Hisayasu Sato Volume 1 box set is
Big
kind
deal.
of like on par for me of when they announced Spookies when that came out. Which I know you're like, man, that's a terrible movie, but I think that movie is a masterpiece. I
That would
fucking
hurt
love
like
that
in my
film.
chest area a
Oh
little bit.
wow.
No, it's
Your heart?
Because I was drinking
Yeah.
when you said it. It's not that the movie is bad. The release is great, but the big thing is the story behind Spookies coming out was legend for a long time. And with Sato stuff, like genuinely, this has been people have thought that this was impossible, not something that was going to be happening. And now they're like, oh, this is volume 1 and it's only 3 films. Guess what? There's more coming. That is very exciting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked about that. And I mean, they probably will release the next one. New Wave interview. I did. Yes, actually, I pre-ordered Rubber's Lover.
Nice.
So that's another. We were talking about this before we started. How right now it's like, I was supposed to bring pickups for this, and like so much of the stuff I bought lately is stuff that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, like Rubber's Lover, Hisayasu Sato. I also shout out Bay Street Video. If you're ever in Toronto, they're the best Blu-ray store, purchasing, renting, whatever, and they get everything in reasonably priced. And so often, if there's something and I'm like, maybe it'll be a little on the pricier side, I'll put my name down. And so they're supposed to hook me up with the cat. Now, you gave me a heart attack, I think, when you mentioned, was it you that the cat sold out?
Yeah, the deluxe edition is fully sold out, so much so that they fast-tracked a standard edition. Usually 88 films will take their sweet time, and there's already a standard edition coming out in like October or November, I think, because it's I think their first title to sell out on pre-order maybe ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised. Have you seen it?
I saw it like 7 months ago for the first time, I think, and have not seen the Blu-ray yet, but I imagine it looks great.
You don't seem that excited. I'm gonna say.
Yes, I am.
It's the greatest movie ever made.
Here, this is how excited I am.
Okay.
And one of these is going to a friend. But I'm so excited. I have 2 of them.
That's why they sold out. You bought all of them.
Well, I'm giving one to a channel subscriber.
Okay, that's fair. So Bay Street should be getting stock, though, right? I mean,
I would imagine they have at least some coming. Yes.
Okay. That's why I didn't know. I tend to what?
He was talking about. He asked a question. I answered him. I'm going to be highlighting comments all night. By the way, these are not necessarily for you.
I thought these was like real time, like what people are trying to say to us.
I am multitasking and doing about 5 things right now,
damn
including highlighting comments.
I could never do this, Ryan. This is why you have. That's why I do a crappy little podcast, and you've got an empire.
An empire? I wish. I don't even have 4,000 subs. Come on.
I think I have 40 subs. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
All that to say, you got some pickups. Show everybody what do you.
Oh yeah, so the most recent things. Okay, so story about this. I saw the movie Drug War in the theaters earlier this year at the Paradise. Oh, it's reversed, I guess. Yeah.
No, it's accurate.
Oh, okay, sick. Have you seen this Johnny Toe's Drug War?
Not. Is that a Wilgo release?
Yeah, it was like $14 on Amazon. I saw it in theaters at Paradise Cinema. They do Eastern Promises every month, which is like Asian curated films. And this blew me away. This is such a good like crime drama thriller. And I'm about to go visit my brother-in-law, and he loves films like that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to force him to watch this. So Drug War, highly recommend it. Probably the best Johnny Toe I've seen so far. I really liked Heroic Trio, but everything else I've seen I haven't been crazy about.
I praise too.
Yeah.
Johnny Toe is not a slouch or anything.
Okay, I need to see a lot more. I've only seen 3 films. Been on a big Brian Pollan kick. Like, holy shit, these movies rule. A friend showed it to me. I'd never even heard of it. And then quickly after that, I ordered both of these and not disappointed. His filmmaking is just unreal. Like, I'm a huge Olaf Ittenbach fan, and like he feels a little bit like an American Olaf Ittenbach to me.
Ooh, I've not heard that comparison, but honestly, pretty apt.
Hell yeah.
Pretty apt.
Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, I've been pre-ordering a lot, so I don't have a lot of new pickups. But the other thing I want to highlight, because you mentioned you got a book recently, was I did get this a few weeks ago, and I already finished it. But this is an excellent book. Highly recommend this.
It is at the top of my wish list. I'm getting it very, very soon, I think.
So when I interviewed Dakota and Chris, Dakota mentioned this book when I asked them in the questionnaire, last great book you read. And I was like, damn right, I've been hearing great things about this. It talks about Louise Ward too, which is really cool that she made it in this book. And like, I'm not even a Wachowski sisters fan at all. Like, I don't like the Matrix film. That was like one of the best chapters. I know, I got hot takes like that. Yeah, like the Wachowskis chapter is super interesting. And it didn't make me want to watch their films that much, but I loved reading about it. Great book. Really, really good book. Highly recommend this. Corpses, Fools, and Monsters, about the history and future of transness in cinema.
Yes, this has got great reviews. That one, and then the Mariah Gates book that just came out, the Her Cinema, I think it's called, or something like that. Very good. That one is great. Everybody needs to check that one out too.
Cool.
I love that you're like, look at these transgressive Brian Paulin films, and my first pickup is I've never seen Terms of Endearment. So here's
Oh no shit! Is it good?
it's like a classic supposedly, but it's like who all is in this? I know there's big like generic white people. Yeah, Jack Nicholson, John Lithgow, Jeff Daniels. It doesn't get wider than this, but I've been really, really itching to see this. I needed to, and it was on sale for like $10, so why not?
That's those American prices, because we get to mention I'm from Canada and I spend way more than you guys on Blu-rays. It's crazy.
Well, funny enough, you say American prices. Look at what's at the bottom of the slip. That's not an American release. That's from the UK.
Oh, right. Okay.
And another one that's from the UK. I've been meaning to see this all year. Better Man on 4K. This is this is the quote the monkey movie. That
Robin Williams.
I'm supposed to love, I guess. Crit, if you're watching, you're welcome. I finally have it, and now I can watch it on your behalf. Supposedly great. I've seen one scene from it. It was impressive, but I don't know why I'm gonna like it, but we'll see.
Do you like his music?
I mean, I'm not like a fan. I appreciate what he does. I've never once in my life went, oh, you know what? Let's put on a Robbie Williams album.
But you are a millennial, and so Millennium, probably when you hear it, you're like, that brings me back a little.
It's close. Yeah, it's nostalgic.
Yeah.
The one, speaking of music, though, I saved this one for last because it's the thing that I'm most excited for. Amazon has been every single week propping up like random coupon deals, and I got for insanely cheap Microphone Check, The History of Hip Hop.
That looks good.
Directed by Tariq Nasheed, which you recognize, and he's got, I mean, everybody's in this. We've got God, where is the proper list of everybody involved? There's all kinds of interviews, there's all kinds of just everything, and dying to see it. The thing though that I really wanted to share, since this is a Canadian episode tonight, fellow Canadian, see, bloopers. Just like last week, I think I said shart instead of start one time. That's never going to get lived down. Robin Bougie, who is somebody that has been a writer for a long time, put all of their zines together in the Cinema Sewer line, and I got caught up with some of them. I love zines. I love so much about them, but they also started a music one. So here is Sonic Sewer Volume 1, and I am so eager to check this out. This is the kind of thing that really led to me like wanting to do a magazine and getting inspired for so much of that. So love stuff like this. I will have all of these at some point. I have to.
I should send you, a friend of mine has been doing a zine called Film Fuckers. Brandon Lim, who I interviewed a while back. It's really good. I'm hoping to write something. I should see that. That does look really good. I'm hoping to write something in a future issue, but if I get a chance, I will. Bob, 5 bound a shot.
He means give bound a shot.
No, I should watch it. Go back to
the Pollen films. Those were both released by Saturn's Core.
Yeah, OCN. Through OCN.
That sound Film Fuckers is a great title for a zine.
I'll get a bunch of them together and mail them to you.
Sweet.
I will do that.
Amazing. I keep meaning to reach out again. The Physical Media Advocate was supposed to be in Bay Street Video, and they've just gone radio silent. So hopefully it will be soon.
Okay. Well, I met one of the owners at Louise Ward's screening. Super nice guy named Brandon Whelan.
Nice.
So I'll harass him. I'll physically go in there when I get my copy of The Cat, and I'll say, "What the fuck?"
Well, speaking of what the fuck have you been watching the last couple weeks?
Oh yeah.
What type of movies have you been into?
Oh shit! I should bust on my letterbox. So I have been on a bit of a, as I mentioned earlier, Japanese kick. I showed my wife Mermaid Legend last week. She had never seen it. Watching it for the second time, I was like, "Oh, this is an incredible film." I have a feeling every time I watch it, I will love it even more. And then since the announcement of the Sato box set, I've been wanting to watch some more of his films I haven't seen before, because like they're usually only like 60, 70 minutes long. So they're easy to get through. So I watched Survey Map of a Paradise Lost on Monday. And then his very first film, which is Distorted Sense of Touch, which is incredible, super harsh and just nihilistic, but very punk rock. And it's for his first film, I'm like, wow, like this is amazing. But prior to that, more like normal films I've watched recently. I watched Eddington for the first time not too long ago, and actually really enjoyed that. For me, Ari Aster's kind of like hasn't fumbled yet. I've loved every film he's put out. I don't know if everyone agrees. I think the consensus is that most people don't like this new one as much, but I don't know. I thought it was a blast. I had a good time.
I still haven't seen Beau is Afraid, so everything else I've enjoyed pretty immensely.
Yeah, Beau is Afraid is kind of one of those movies that's like so long, so self-indulgent, so messed up that you kind of just have to, like, you kind of end up like applauding the warts in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you're like, man, he just went so into his own, like up his own ass, but into his own, down his own rabbit hole. Like, I don't know. You kind of have to be into that thing. You know, it might work for you, it might not, but I don't know. It's a big swing for sure. And I also watched Friendship, which was hilarious.
Loved Friendship. That was definitely a highlight this year.
Superlative.
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 We're also teaching vocabulary tonight. Superlative means it's amazing.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, superlative. Thought it was bad. I was like, man, if you don't like the movie, just say it's bad. Like, what's superlative?
Oh, this is going to be fun to hear in the podcast episode later.
Yeah.
Woo. So on that note, are you going out to the theater much? Are you staying in for pretty much everything nowadays? What is your watching habit like?
Yeah, I mean, I mostly watch stuff at home. I'm kind of at a point where I prefer renting new stuff. I don't know if it's come up before in conversation with how the state of like audiences can really ruin the experience. And with all these movies coming out that are like well over 2 hours, it kind of doesn't make me want to go to the theaters. So like Eddington, I ended up renting Sinners, Canadian, not English. Hell yeah, eh? Yeah, but I did get to see Weapons in the theaters.
Nice. That's a good theater movie. Like the experience of everybody feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah, people were pretty respectful for that one. That was good. But other than that, I end up going to like a lot more rep cinema stuff these days, like seeing Louise Ward's castration movie at the Paradise. Like Toronto has a few really good theaters for stuff like that, where it's all just kind of like curated screenings and they play a lot of old movies and Weapons. Yeah. So yeah, I think that seems to be more the more theater going I do, and then I just at home, like I've got a 4K TV, so yeah, it's nice to just be at home and just like you can pause when you have to go pee and stuff like that.
I can't argue with that. That is a very good point.
Yeah.
I will admit my viewing habits this year have been very unnatural for me. I was primarily physical media, like not even primarily, like 100%. Like I might go to a couple movies a year in the theater until this last May. My kids are now 9 and 10, and I said, you know what? We've got two grandparents that live in the city, and I've been dying to like really keep up on the theater. So let's just see if they'll be kind enough to be grandparents every weekend and see if we can get one
Oh,
of them to just spend a day with the kids every weekend. And since May, I think it was since early May, at least one day out of every weekend, I've gone to at least two movies in the theater back to back. The most I've
whoa.
done so far is 5 in one day.
You did
Um,
5 screenings in one day?
I've done 8 with this guy with the KB. We went and saw the whole Nightmare on Elm Street franchise in one day in the theater.
Holy shit. Okay, I have to tell you this. Did I tell you about my 40th surprise birthday?
No, but I think it was mentioned in an episode.
Yeah, so my wife threw a surprise birthday for me last December because I turned 40 on December 27th. Um, Basically, she rented out a theater and got them to play Nightmare on Elm Street 4, which is my favorite one. And
Nice.
so I had no idea. I thought we were going to go to Hamilton to visit her aunt. And all of a sudden, we're like walking to go get, like, I don't know, like, what's it called? Panettone to bring or something, right? And all of a sudden we like walk past the theater and she's like, "Oh, what's going on in here?" And like pulls me in there and it's all my friends like surprise and all that. And yeah, we watched Nightmare on Elm Street 4 in the middle of the day and then went to a bar and it was the greatest day of my life.
Amazing. That sounds
Yeah.
so great.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. What's your favorite of the Nightmare on Elm Streets?
Oh, I mean, kind of basic, but Dream Warriors is probably up there for me.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah. It's probably my
It's
second.
incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it is my favorite of like the major horror franchises, though. So they're all
Same.
kind of special, and they just have so much more to say and have so much more substance to them, and so many more, I don't know, unique takes on the entire thing than like Halloween. I can take it or leave it. It's the first one's a classic.
Oh, yeah.
Second one is okay. Third one is pretty good, and then like 4 through 8, well, they're all right.
Eh, eh. My take is that Halloween is the weakest franchise, but maybe has the strongest first film.
Okay. I would probably say that.
Yeah.
Brendan in the chat says he's doing a 24-hour horror marathon in a theater in Pennsylvania next month.
Wow.
13 consecutive screenings.
Jesus.
That is crazy. So yeah, this last weekend on, I think it was Sunday. Went to the theater. Well, actually, we'll start with last Friday. Went and saw the new Conjuring movie. So we went
Oh,
to
okay.
the rare one night. My wife and I went to see the Conjuring together. I I will say this. This is not a good movie, but if you like the Conjuring films, it's very entertaining. I was certainly entertained the entire time. I had
Yeah,
a good time watching it. And then walking out, I went, you know what? That was a bad movie, but I'm glad I saw it. Definitely like the weakest possible ending they could have written for it. It
sure.
is very, very lame. Don't understand why they went down that path at all. I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, but yeah, weak ending. It's pretty
Mm.
terrible. My wife had never seen This Is Spinal Tap, and the sequel's about to come out. So I
Oh,
went, well, you got to see This Is Spinal Tap.
hell
So
yeah.
I showed her that, and I laughed a lot, and she sat there quietly. So
Oh no. Oh
thanks,
no.
babe. But we're seeing the sequel Saturday morning, and I cannot wait. Yes,
Sweet.
Jim, Conjuring 4 is infinitely better than Conjuring 3. Everything is.
Mm.
After Spinal Tap, Sunday came, and we saw, or technically, I saw 4 films in the theater. The first 2 I watched with KB. KB came out, and we hung out for these first 2. The
Sweet.
first one, Love Brooklyn. This is a
Mm.
fairly by the book love triangle story set in Brooklyn that is super indie. Just really great story. My big takeaway from this is sincerely how much they allowed the writing to just breathe, and a lot of
Mm.
modern filmmaking, because they're trying to keep up with the attention span of the idiots in row 3 in the theater. It like quick cuts on everything. They'll like make
Okay.
a snappy joke and then run away from it. this movie, very happy with like letting dialogue sit or allowing somebody to emotionally act. There's one scene in particular in like the bottom of a stairwell. Our main character is walking away from the camera and he stops and you see like his whole body slink for a second and like deep breath. And then he makes a choice and continues to walk. And that sort of thing is very deliberate. Really love that they could take their time with this. And I gotta be honest, it felt very almost Sean Baker with how they did a lot of it. It was like methodical writing. It was something that is almost real time for the entire story. It's basically like a slice of somebody's life. You're just hanging out for a very specific set of time. But I love Brooklyn. Everybody should check it out. It is pretty damn well done. I truly enjoyed it. After that, we saw the movie Splitsville. Have you seen the trailer for Splitsville?
No, never heard of it.
So Splitsville is a entirely too complex film about a couple that is going on some sort of road trip, and on this like drive they stop and they essentially decide to get divorced, or the wife decides, and the husband figure runs away from the car and runs all the way to his friend's house. And he goes to their friend's house and he's like, how are you guys so happy? And they basically say, well, we have an open marriage. And that leads to the husband that just left that other car having an affair with this individual from this open marriage. And then this is all in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler, but the story just collapses from there. I think Splitsville is entertaining for sure, but it's one of those movies that had like 7 endings. They could have called cut at least 6 times before we got the final curtain. I will say it has a legendary comic scene that we've not had in years for anything like this. If you've not seen it yet, there is a very specific scene on a roller coaster that is by far probably my second favorite scene of the year. It is amazing.
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say after the movie Fear.
No, that's really funny. Oh, that's really funny.
Anyways,
yeah, it's decent. It's not like a bad movie necessarily, but man,
yeah,
overly written and way too many endings. They just did not know how they wanted to finish that movie. But then I saw what was maybe my favorite of the weekend, which was a movie called The Threesome. This is about a gentleman that is at a bar hanging out with one of his friends. He sees a girl that he had the hots for before, and he goes to talk her up, and she's not interested. So he goes up to another girl, and through this weird sequence of events, the 3 of them, the 2 girls and him, go back to his house and have a threesome. And about 2 weeks later, he finds out both of the women are pregnant. And it's just the awkward, how do you handle this, especially when you want to be in a relationship with one of the 2, and like one of them is kind of like leaning like sort of conservative values, and how do you recover from that? This one kind of similar to Love Brooklyn. It took its time with the pacing. I think it was pretty impeccably written. It was emotional in all the right ways, but also it peppered in like proper comedic timing. And with a movie like this that is so personal on such a level about having babies with 2 different women, it could have easily been like, oh, this is sort of very awkward and we shouldn't be laughing at a moment like this. But it worked very well. Truly love this one. And then speaking of awkward, I ended the weekend on a movie called Lurker. This is
I like know that one.
A super fan movie, somebody that adores a modern artist, and through just a happenstance in a store that he's able to meet this artist and pretend that he doesn't know the artist, and suddenly he can get close to this artist, and he just goes insane the entire time. It is a really well acted movie, one that I didn't walk out loving, and then I realized over the next couple days it might just be because of how awkward it made me feel, and then I've grown to appreciate it more. Like the way that it just sort of hangs with you, like the emotions that are tied up, especially near like the 3rd act of this movie. It gets heavy. It gets really awkward. I do wish it had gone maybe a step further, but that's also just because I want to see like sadomasochist things happening, I guess. But yeah, good movie. Everybody should check out Lurker. It is really well done.
What would you compare it to?
Probably the closest would be a much more serious Ingrid Goes West.
Oh, really? I love that movie.
Yes.
Okay.
For the record, I said this and then it was commented. Carrie Mulligan just said Lurker was a more
Carrie
serious
Mulligan's
humor
in the
goes much.
chat? What? Jesus Christ.
Yes, you got all the famous people watching you tonight, Bob.
Damn it. Subscribe
Yes.
to Switch Your Head. Carrie Mulligan.
Please, all of the links from the description. Please go subscribe on your podcast player and on YouTube. So yeah, that was my weekend. Anything you're excited about coming out soon? Anything that you're dying to watch other than more Sato stuff?
Black Phone 2.
The trailer looks pretty great.
Hell yeah. It looks amazing. It looks like
A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes. In a snowy cabin. I find that being a lifelong horror fan. What's up? Being a lifelong horror fan, I find it so easy to fall into the trap of nothing's good anymore. It's all about the 80s or the 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
So I try to be open-minded about new horror films. And this one feels like it's working for me. You know what I mean? Like, okay, this feels like something I would want to see in the 80s. Even though, I didn't watch 80s horror till in the 90s.
Yeah, same. I get that. Completely get that.
Yeah, it looks cool. Trying to think what else. I don't know. I mean, October's coming up. I'm trying to see like what the Toronto cinemas are going to play for Halloween screenings and stuff. There's a theater playing all the Hong Kong classics that are now getting released on Blu-ray. So Chinese Ghost Story and A Better Tomorrow and all that stuff is playing at the theaters. So might try to hit that up. Do you get to go see older films at all in the theaters, or do you just have theaters around you that plays new films?
We've got a couple that do rep screenings, but even like the AMC, and that's, by the way, I'm not like loaded or anything. The only reason I'm able to see like stuff in the theater every weekend is because I have the AMC A list. So I get 4 movies every week as part of the subscription, and it's $20 a month. Like I would be stupid to not go to that many movies.
Wait, so you pay $20 a month to see like
16 movies? Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my
four
God.
movies a week, and then if you go to more than 4, you have to pay for those. But like, you still don't get charged the convenience fees that you would if you were just a normal person without the membership.
Okay.
And you get discounts on popcorn and soda and all that stuff. So
God damn.
it's a pretty great deal.
Because I'm out here spending like $16 every time I go.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I think it was last July. We wanted to go see in one day. We the kids were going to be somewhere else, and my wife and I we were dying to go see Twisters and Longlegs, and we pulled up the app and we were like, wait, if we're just going to these 2 movies, that's more than the entire subscription already. Literally, let's just both subscribe, and then we're paying less, and we get to do more. So we've been a subscriber for AMC A-List for just over a year now, and man, I've never gone to the theater this much, and it has been incredible. And I gotta be honest, the number of like bad experiences that we've had since May, and I've seen, gosh, it has to be probably like 45, maybe almost 50 movies that I've seen in the theater in the last 4 or 5 months.
Oh my God.
Yes, it's been a lot, but I think I've only had maybe like 4 experiences, and I wouldn't even say any of them are terrible. There was one that was really, really crappy, like somebody like the entire
okay.
disgusting the entire time.
Yeah.
And then there was one like somebody kept turning on their phone and texting and stuff. But even then, like I won't just sit there quiet. I'll be like, hey dude, I spent money on this. Let's be respectful.
Oh
and,
yeah.
Try to fix it. So
yeah, in the same way you got to nip it in the butt.
You do, or it ruins it for the next 2 hours for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I try to even say something before the film starts if I can. Sometimes you just know, you know what I mean?
Just stand up and announce, listen, guys, I'm trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
Jake says, wish we had AMC theaters in Iowa. Cinemark. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Jake, I forgot you were in Iowa. Dang.
I think we used to have AMC in Canada. I don't know if we do anymore. I think there used to be one in Toronto and then doesn't exist. But we do have Imagine Cinemas, which the one up the street from me, it's like a 5-minute walk from where I live, they play $5 classic movies every week. So there's usually 2 or 3 movies that you can see that are like I think they're playing Goodfellas and Clockwork Orange right now for $5. So yeah,
I've never seen either one of those on the big screen. That'd be amazing.
yeah, it would. Goodfellas especially. That's like a top 10 movie for me.
Some big ones. We should probably get to our announcement soon.
Yeah.
Some big ones recently, like one of my favorite theaters in the area is not even AMC, of course, but it's a little theater called Screenlit Armor, and actually it should be coming up soon. They usually do a Carpenter Fest every September, October, and they do a triple feature of John Carpenter stuff, and they don't tell you what they're screening until that night. It's a mystery of just 3 of his films. And we went to one, and the first one that they played was Prince of Darkness. And I've liked Prince of Darkness my entire life, but I've never loved it. I never got like, why is this a classic? Until I saw it on the big screen. It clicked so hard on the big screen.
Yeah, that's one that's like a magic eye painting to me. Yep. You need to be in the right zone for it, you know?
Yep.
You need to watch it a few times, I think, and then it clicks, and you're like, oh, I love this.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
What's your favorite Carpenter film? And are you going to say The Thing?
I mean, it's up there, but Carpenter's weird because he's one of my favorites, and it depends kind of on the mood. Like, I don't think it's never Halloween. I don't think that's ever been really my favorite. If I had to pick one that was probably most consistent, it might be Assault on Precinct 13.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great
for some
movie.
reason, it just, I think the big thing is I adore that score. That is a score that I listen to literally like at least once a month, just on random to be able to work to the music.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
Tonight we are going to be talking about announcements, but then covering a really interesting topic. We are calling harsh coming of age films. We're going to be sharing 5 favorites from each of us, and we're going to dive into that after the announcements, after what's coming up next week. We're going to have Bob explain why we're talking about that, so get ready for that. But first, let's get into some physical media, my friend.
Whoa.
All right, so November 4th, Kino Lorber has boxed together all of their releases of the Monk series that they put out and the film, Mr. Monk's Last Case, all into one box set. When these came out, they were all like $25 to $35, and they have a price on this entire thing right now to pre-order on their website at about $130. And if you're just doing the math on this, 8 seasons plus a movie, you're saving a ton of money just getting that box set. If you were buying all of them beforehand, I would feel a little bit taken advantage of. Just saying. Tell me about how much you love Monk, considering we talked about this for 20 minutes before we went live.
I'm more of a Wings fan.
Wings is great. No, for everybody, the joke is neither one of us have ever watched Monk. I've been wanting to watch Monk for a long time.
I just laughed when you put it up there because I didn't see the obsessive compulsive detective earlier, the OCD, and I was like, whew. And
it's a really great tagline.
Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie. I mean, I think I'd want to watch that instead of the show. To be fair.
Supposedly it's pretty bad. It just released like 3 years ago when the show actually started in 2002.
But watching it without any context at all, like having never seen the show, would be kind of strange, you know? It might be a fun experience.
And just imagine somewhere Tony Shalhoub is like itching with his OCD.
Or his detective. I don't know what I'm saying. How do you, Ryan?
All right, let's go to our next one. Imprint announced the 4th of their 4K releases that they were peppering out throughout the week last week. November 26th, these are all coming out on the same day. They're putting out a 4K in Australia of Battle of Britain from 1969. I know literally nothing about this movie, but I do know that this release was restored by Imprint, and it is authored by Fidelity Emotion, which means this is going to look beautiful. We got a new commentary by Steve Mitchell and Stephen J. Rubin on here. There is going to be more new special features that they're announcing later. There's also the Battle for the Battle of Britain from 1969. That's a documentary. Some other archival extras, and then a whole second Blu-ray disc with some other new extras. A new documentary by Simon Lewis, new interview with Sheldon Hall, new feature documentary including interviews with the original production crew. And this also has a 100-page hardback book. Have you gotten anything from Imprint?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I have. I must have at some point. Did they put out the Ghost Watch release?
Ghost Watch? No, I think that was 101 Films in the UK. I feel like I remember you saying you picked up Shawshock. Did you get that one?
Oh, was that them?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, whew. That's amazing. Everyone needs to go pick that up. Yeah, okay, yeah, that is in print. Okay. Yeah, great stuff. I love Shawshock.
Yes. Craig, what you just DM'd me, yes, it is public. He is saying that publicly, by the way. Weird thing to say in the middle of a podcast, but Craig understands. Thanks, Craig. Next up.
What was he saying?
Well, he said he doesn't know if it's public information yet, but David from Fidelity Motion also did some of the restoration work on that for Imprint. They like worked together. And yes, he is saying that publicly that he did some of the restoration work. So that is good to talk about.
I thought he was asking about me.
No.
Like,
Craig and I genuinely appreciate the authoring and encoding work done by Fidelity Motion because it can make an okay release really shine just because he knows how to properly put it on the disc.
Huh, sweet.
Next from Kino is they are putting out a 4K release of 5 of the Peter Sellers Pink Panther films. Now, these are all brand new HDR Dolby Vision masters from 4K scans of the OCNs. So we're getting the Pink Panther from 63, A Shot in the Dark from 64, Return of the Pink Panther from 75, Pink Panther Strikes Again from 76, and then Revenge of the Pink Panther from 78. Now, Kino did say in the comments that these are at first likely they're going to be coming as single releases and then as a box set after that. So this is really cool that they're putting these out. These had been on Blu-ray previously by Shout, and they've been out of print and very expensive for quite some time. So just to have the Peter Sellers Pink Panther stuff out again is a big deal. But, oh my gosh, that is a great comment by Jeremiah. We need Pinku Panther.
Whew.
Oh, that was funny. That got me
Yeah.
good. Are you a Pink Panther guy or a Peter Sellers guy? Do you know anything about those?
So I've never seen Pink Panther. I've never seen any of them. I've only seen one Peter Sellers film. I guess other than Dr. Strangelove, right? He's in that?
He is, I believe.
Okay.
I've not seen Dr. Strangelove in a long time.
I've seen The Party, which is not good. It has not aged very well at all. Are you familiar with this film?
Nope.
Okay, so he does brown face in it, and there's like a lot of assaulty kind of moments, and it's a comedy.
Sounds hilarious.
My wife's accountant at the time was like, "Oh, you're an actor? You should watch this movie. It's really good." we rented it. We're like, "What?"
That's really funny.
Yeah, I'm not making this up.
My wife's accountant said to watch this brownface movie is a fun story.
Yeah. She doesn't go to them anymore, so.
All right. It took a second for that to land in my mind. It was like he recommended a movie and I had to fire him. I don't know.
No. He quit the business. I think he went into politics or something.
Good Lord. This story is just writing itself.
Yeah.
Never mind. Next up, September 23rd, Universal is putting out Law and Order Special Victims Unit Season 26 out on Blu-ray. Season 25 is the first one of these they did on Blu-ray. I am very interested to see that they're actually continuing this, which means the first one that they did must have done pretty well. But also, you have 24 seasons prior to this. Why don't you put those out on HD as well?
See, I read it said 26 season. I was like, damn, this has 26 seasons in this one Blu-ray? That's insane.
That would be
Yeah.
pricey.
I was feeling like, wow, you guys get a win. Like the fans of Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
Nope, this is just one
No.
season.
Hmm.
Maybe one of the more exciting announcements for this week. November 24th, over in the UK, we are getting a 4K box set called the Agatha Christie Collection. And this includes Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, The Mirror Cracked, and Evil Under the Sun. These are very, very good movies for two of them. A pretty good movie for one of them, and then an okay movie for one of them. But the big thing is visually, these are going to be sumptuous. I do like that they chose to very hyper stylize the set. I think this is a gorgeous way to present these. This could have been so bland, and they did something very, very interesting. All of these have lots of good extras, but we get two options here. You could buy this box set. It also has a 64-page booklet with new essays, and it also has the 4 posters for the films. Or you can buy the individual releases. So we've got Murder on the Orient Express. This is coming on 4K and Blu-ray on the same day. This has a new interview with Jacqueline Bisset, and then all kinds of archival extras that are coming on this. And this absolutely will be the exact same 4K scan that Kino just released to this film. But I believe the rest of these have not been on 4K anywhere else yet. And so my guess, if you're in the US, you may want to listen to this part. I would bet that these are going to be coming to Kino sometime in the next 2 years. These last 3. That's just my guess. They're probably going to be pretty cheap. And when you look at this release right now, I won't say it's super expensive or super cheap. It's fairly priced, I would say. But if you go look on Orbit or Diabolic DVD, this is going for $106 US. And the new Kino 4Ks, when they come out, they're about $27. So if you think about it, that's at least close to buying 4 new ones.
I like
Not
the
too bad.
packaging. I also like this title of the video essay.
Yes, Sparkling Homicide, new visual
Love
essay
it.
by David Cairns. Spaghetti in the chat is saying, are 2 on Kino 4K already? I may be forgetting one. If that's the case, let me know. I can only think of Murder on the Orient Express. So that's Death on the Nile. And then we, of course, got The Mirror Cracked. This one has a new introduction for Miss Marple, and that is just a featurette. And then all kinds of archival extras from the previous Blu-rays. And then finally, we've got Evil Under the Sun. This has a new interview with Emily Hone, and then new Excessive Creatures visual essay by David Cairns. So all of these, you could get single releases or the box set all on November 24th in the UK from Studio Canal. But most likely, you're going to be able to get them from Kino eventually here in the US if you would like to wait. Spaghetti says he thinks Death on the Nile is 4K as well. That could be. I may be misremembering. Thanks, Blake. Next up, House on Eden. This is coming on Blu-ray on November 18th here in the US from Shudder. This is a brand new film from 2025 that is, if you are perpetually online like many of us, you may have seen Chris Collins on YouTube or Instagram Reels. She's huge on TikTok. Her and her friend Selena Myers made this film, and I believe Jason Christopher Meyer is Chris's husband or friend or something like that. But yeah, they made this found footage horror film, and I gotta be honest, it's not that bad. Saw it in theaters this summer as one of the other 50 movies that I saw in the theater. And it was, for a first film that Chris Collins directed, who she's only been a YouTube creator before this, she's never directed a film. This was the first one. It was pretty competent. That being said, it's found footage, and I know a lot of people hate found footage. How about you?
Not me. I didn't know you were going to ask me. I just jumped right in.
Good choice.
I mean, I kind of love all strains of horror, and I love found footage. What would you compare this to, though, if you could?
Oh, this, let's see. Overall tone, maybe The Last Exorcist.
Oh, I don't think I saw that one.
That is, I think her name is Ashley Bell is the star of that one. And she's like a contortionist, and she is possessed. And there is a reverend who has been faking it for a while that is coming to prove that his exorcisms are faked. But then this last one turns out to be very real. And it's pretty damn good. That being said, it doesn't really get super intense until the last act. And this movie is
Mm.
very similar. It feels like a lot of lead into a pretty great last act. This one, the climax is really only like the last 8 minutes. So it does feel a little like, oh man, this is a lot of lead up to just a little bit of scares, but it's just very well made throughout the entire time. So
Did you see The Outwaters?
not yet. I wanted to see that.
Okay. Yeah. Would love to know what you think of that one. That one's like a very unique found footage horror film that came out.
I plan to watch it. I believe I've got it. It came out through OCN, right?
I think so. That sounds about right.
Yes. And Blake wanted to shout out that Death on the Nile is only on Blu-ray, not on 4K. So thanks, Blake. And then Daddy Deathbone says Bob McCully is the GOAT.
Anthony Leroy. He actually made a fantastic found footage horror film called Bum. And
nice.
I don't know if he's got it on YouTube yet. It's 40 minutes long. Incredible.
As awkward as this sentence is going to sound, I am owning it before I even say it. Hey, Daddy, you want to send me that link? I'll watch it.
Yeah. Anthony, send it to him. Or I can send it to you.
Thanks for pirating his movie in front of him.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
I tease, of course.
Movies are meant to be shown, right?
Yes, they are. And so are TV shows. And speaking of TV shows, October 14th, Warner Brothers is releasing Curb Your Enthusiasm as a complete series Blu-ray set. And this cover blown up on the screen like this looks really weird, like he is trying to escape from a giant jar. He is
baby.
way to answer, Daddy. He says, sending my bum to Ryan. I am so stoked. Curb Your Enthusiasm coming to Blu-ray entire series. Are you a Curb Your Enthusiasm fan?
Massive fan. I've loved this show for a very long time. It's a very good. Okay. Yeah, huge fan. I've been watching it since like the mid 2000s, I guess. Like I think I got into around season 3 or 4. Wasn't as into the last few seasons though, to be honest. But this is actually something I could see myself picking up at some point, just to like go through like 1 through 10, you know?
Yeah. I could see going back to this and being happy going through it every so often. Reggie is asking what the pricing on this is, and I just went while I saw your chat and found on the Moviezing website, the retail price is $130, which means coming up on Amazon, it'll probably be about $115, $110, I'm guessing. Usually it's a little cheaper on release over on Amazon. So, yeah, a little better.
Can you read that comment on there, Ryan?
Which Michael J. Fox is about to be Michael J. Fucked Up.
That's great. That was a good episode.
That is for sure. Curb only had 1 mediocre season, but I think the worst episode was in the last, says Carrie Mulligan.
I don't even remember it, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. I got to be honest, I'm due for a rewatch of the entire thing.
Yeah.
All right, that is Curb. They are not up next, so I'll just go to this one. November 17th, there's a 4K and Blu-ray coming in the UK from Studio Canal of Murder in the First. I have never seen this movie. Have you seen this?
Never heard of it, but it looks interesting.
So Christian Slater and Kevin Bacon and Gary Oldman starring in this one. And it says, after being imprisoned in Alcatraz for petty theft, Henry Young, played by Kevin Bacon, leads a failed escape attempt from the infamous prison. As punishment for the doomed getaway, prison warden Milton Glenn, played by Gary Oldman, places Young in solitary confinement for 3 years. When Young is finally released from his tortuous ordeal, now a completely broken man, he kills an inmate and is charged with murder in the first degree. This has a brand new 4K restoration of the film. It's got Dolby Vision, and then there's a new audio commentary by the cinematographer, Fred Murphy, and then some archival extras. Anybody seen this? I really enjoy like 90s Kevin Bacon, 90s Christian Slater, and Gary Oldman has been amazing since day one. So
yeah,
I'm very curious about this one.
Also, prison movies, kind of terrifying.
Especially Alcatraz, which I grew up in California. Yeah. I've visited Alcatraz once on a little tour, and I would kind of really like to see this. I think
I'd give it a shot.
If it's bad though, I don't want to watch
Wow.
So this is the one I was alluding to. We also got another
Ooh.
full series. October 7th, there is a full Blu-ray release of The Newsroom coming out. This was the HBO series, The Newsroom, starring Jeff Daniels. This has all of the special features that were on the previous releases, all on their same discs. Nothing essentially new on this, but it's the entire thing in one fell swoop, so that can be helpful.
Never watched it.
It's got some really relevant scenes, especially during these last couple years. So I would say this is a good one to watch.
Okay. It looks like it has a cool cast.
It does have a decent cast, yeah. You got Emily Mortimer in here, Sam Waterston, and then Aaron Sorkin did some of his best writing on this.
Okay.
Next up, movie we just talked about, Weapons. We got some release details for this one. So October 14th, there is a 4K, a standard 4K, and a 4K Steelbook coming out, a Blu-ray and a DVD release from Warner Brothers on this one. And the extras, we're going to have Dolby Vision on this one. There is a Making Horror Personal featurette with the director, Zach Kreger. We've got a Cast of Weapons featurette. And then we've got a Texture of Terror featurette, but no commentary on this one, which I feel like this one would have made for a very good commentary, especially if you got Zach and Julia Garner together and maybe a couple other like drop-ins from the cast. This could have been really fun.
Yeah, like Amy Madigan or something.
At least, yeah, but I mean, obviously you probably only need her for the last half.
I guess, yeah.
Or please tell me what was your character doing in this scene, even though she is not going to be seen for another 48 minutes.
Well, but I mean, you're not going to watch it for the first time with the commentary, right? So she could be like,
yeah,
I don't know, chime in or something.
Just have her react to the entire film. That's the commentary, just her watching it. For those that haven't bought it yet, the US Steelbook of this has been sold out since like 3 days after this came out in the theaters. Genuinely has not been able to be purchased since then. It's been crazy. However, the UK Steelbook is identical. The only thing is that you won't get the digital code, but you can pick that up on US retailers like Orbit and Brother Belial. It's, I believe, on both sides still available to be pre-ordered. I loved this movie. This is, I think I have it listed right now as my number 3 film of the year, or maybe even number 2 so far. So yeah, love this one.
Yeah, probably be in my like top 5, but I don't think I've discovered my number 1 yet.
Ooh, what else is jockeying for it right now?
I have no idea. I feel like I've seen a lot of number 2s, you know, like Sinners was great. I really love The Ugly Stepdaughter, the Shudder film.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
That one's my number 5. I love that one.
Eddington would be up there. Yeah, I don't know. I just haven't seen that film that's like bowled me over, like The Substance or Poor Things or something. You know, like those are my last 2 number 1 films in a row. Yeah.
Very nice. All right, so that is Weapons. Next up, Message in a Bottle from 2024 is getting a 4K release from Mercury Studios on October 10th. This is a stage musical that is on the music of Sting and the Police. I know nothing about this, so I won't say very much other than, hey, Bob, are you into musicals? Because I don't think I've heard you talk about musicals very much. And being a music person can be very hit or miss with musicals.
Wait, so this is... it sounds like it's people dancing to the music. Yes. I think I could be okay with that. I'm not really into musicals, especially in film form. Oh, true. I'll definitely watch that one, Couch Odyssey. Or Frankenstein, probably not. Sorry. I mean, I might watch it, but I'm just... Pan's Labyrinth for me is a masterpiece, and I haven't been able to get too into anything else by Del Toro.
Maybe slight spoilers. Pan's Labyrinth was my the 6th one on our topic tonight that I was going to bring up. So it's not in the 5 that I was going to talk about, but it was literally like the one below that. Great
idea. Yeah, great topic. Great suggestion. You could. I'm sure you could add it in there. Yeah.
Pat your own self on the back there.
Way to go, Bob. Way to go.
Uh,
Hey, this is an
next.
album.
This is an album. October 17th, we are getting a
Mm.
4 CD and 1 Blu-ray disc release from Bruce
Oh.
Springsteen of Nebraska. Now, this is a big deal for multiple reasons. I've been trying to cover more music things that come with Blu-ray discs, and
Mm.
this has an entire disc of live performances, of course, but this thing has been like fabled for a long time, something that people have been after for literally decades. And now you've got Nebraska absolutely coming out. And I gotta be honest, I can't wait to hear the entire thing. And I may have to own this one eventually.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard an album by. No, I'm like, who's this Bruce Springsteen you're talking about? No, I mean, I think my wife has one of his albums, and he's pretty good. I wouldn't mind watching. I love watching like music docs and like live concerts and
Same.
stuff. So I feel like I wish I could just watch the Blu-ray or something. Maybe you can. Do you know if it would be like rentable or streamable or something?
Ooh, yeah. Actually, I bet you can probably buy just the live performances on iTunes, maybe?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
I would think
yeah.
maybe.
Hmm.
Next up, kind of the other Bruce Springsteen. December 16th, there's a Blu-ray
What?
release of Ginger Deadman Murder-thon from Full Moon coming. Now, I say that because the Bruce Springsteen Nebraska thing is a greatest hits of live performances that's going to be on that disc, basically. This
Oh.
is a greatest hits of the Ginger Deadman kills. Full Moon is just milking money out of you. If you are somebody that likes Full Moon or likes Ginger Deadman, you don't need this unless you're like the world's biggest fan and you just want a clip show. But it's not super necessary.
But what if you've never seen the Ginger Dead Man films? Because I haven't, so I feel like maybe this would be for me.
Theoretically, if you think
Okay.
that a clip show of a gingerbread cookie killing people is okay, the way I just said that, it sounds like the most entertaining thing in the world. Damn it!
Yeah.
It's
You know
Full
what?
Moon,
Okay,
so
wait,
it's probably
wait.
not great.
Ryan, here's what you got to do. Nebraska is the soundtrack. You put the Murder-thon as the visual. You turn the sound off on the Murder-thon. Think about it.
If somebody syncs up the entire album of Nebraska to Ginger Deadman Murder-thon, that might just be the greatest piece of art ever created now.
Well, I'm an artiste, so get ready.
Next up, with
okay.
the most non-existent cover ever, there is a 4K Steelbook release coming of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Now, there is no confirmation if there will be a standard release of this coming. And just an FYI, for those of you watching this on YouTube or live or whenever, this Steelbook is pure black with the logo of the film on the cover. That's not the final design. Warner Brothers simply wants your money before they reveal the art, which to me seems really counterintuitive or like anti-consumer. People are buying this just, hey, it's going to sell out, I may as well buy it now, without even knowing what they're buying is going to look like.
Well, Ryan, I gotta ask, because you always know these things. What is the chances that they'll end up putting AI art as the final artwork?
Ooh, for Warner Brothers, I would say the chances are about 3%.
Okay, that's good.
I would say very, very low.
Okay.
I if it was Universal, which we're going to be talking about in just a minute because it's atrocious, it would be something that I would say, oh, probably about 85%. But
Wow.
this is, I don't know, like, what is the art going to be? This is not good.
Okay, so what if they just flip the colors? I mean, white with black lettering could work. I feel like I have an old DVD of this that's like almost that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think so, but there will be a design. This is not final, so it's not just going to be the logo. Oh God, I forgot all about Blazing Saddles. Did you see the steelbook for Blazing Saddles?
No.
Okay, I got to bring that up in another tab and show
Or
you. So we can
if you
get a
posted
live
it, I might have
reaction.
seen it, but yeah, let's.
Well, yes, but it was like 16 months ago.
Mm.
So Blazing Saddles 4K steelbook. When you hear about the movie Blazing Saddles, what like iconic imagery comes to mind?
Like the main character.
Okay, so
Wait,
that
what
would
do you,
make
what do you mean?
that would make sense.
Yeah.
But could you imagine a day that they just said, you know what? Let's just go with its namesake and light a saddle on fire.
What?
This is the actual steelbook cover for Blazing Saddles, and it's literally
Okay, Ryan, if you didn't tell me that that was a saddle on fire, I probably need a minute to be like, what am I looking at? It looks like a leather piece of shit or something caught on fire. Like, what?
well. Let's do this.
It's floating.
It's,
I mean, it is a saddle, but like,
it's literally
When
a
you-
saddle on fire.
well, because you never see saddles as just a saddle. It's always on a horse, right?
Right.
And it's AI too. Jesus Christ! Wait, wasn't?
I
I've never
mean,
s-
we're assuming it's AI. The fire is obviously really poorly done on here. I mean, there's like,
yeah.
let me see if I can zoom in more. There's like no detail in that fire.
It's also not really covering much of the front part.
No.
I don't know, man.
Thankfully, the front of the saddle is only on fire on the right side behind it.
I don't understand why companies do this because, like, there's so many amazing artists. Are they really that expensive? Like, what's going on?
No.
I mean, I guess it's like a whole can of worms opening that up. I'm sure, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ronnie says the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest cover art. It's just going to be a bird literally flying over a nest. Could be.
Oh,
Could
okay.
be. I really like Jake's comment. More like AI Zing saddles.
Oh no.
Terry says maybe we get Jack Nicholson flying over a bird's nest. That'd be pretty funny. I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Connor said the same thing. Yeah, so many bad covers. Let's get into more of them because there's about to be a couple that are really, really bad. But anyways, more details on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. This is rumored to be coming on December 17th. We don't even have a release date yet, but they're actually out there getting people's money for this, and you don't know what it looks like and don't know when it's coming, but please pay us. That's wild.
Yeah. Huh. Is this the first time it's been out on 4K? Or the first time it's coming out on 4K?
Yes.
Ah, okay, interesting. Huh.
So it is highly coveted. It's one that people are going to want, people are going to be excited about, but
Yeah.
it's, I don't know. It's a bad way to go about it, I think. A good way to go about it, though, is this release of a movie that I loved. November 3rd, there's an Ultimate Collector's Edition over in the UK coming of The Wild Robot. This is a 4K steelbook in a hardbox case. This will be limited to 3,000 worldwide, and I loved this movie. Did you see this one?
No, I don't know if I even heard of it. The Wild
It is
Robot.
an animated movie that came
Okay.
out talking about it's like a post-apocalyptic animated movie.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty dang good. I enjoyed it. Everybody should check it out if you've not seen it. That being said, you probably shouldn't buy this release as your first foray into the film because it's like $60. Don't spend that much.
Jesus. They went all out. There's like a poster, there's some postcards or something, and
Double-sided poster, multiple art cards, and an individually numbered hardbox release.
damn, where's the mouse pad?
That's over at Celluloid Dreams.
Celluloid Dreams. Okay.
They did the mouse pad for their first release, and it literally, like, they still get rid of it on sale.
Oh.
Brendan says TerraVision literally just did that. Yes, that is true, and it's really funny that you bring that up. However, there's a big difference. It's $15, and it's not just like an entire. It's horror. It's at least focused on horror, but the whole point is you kind of pick it up as part of this. But anyways, I get what you're saying, and that's really funny. Thanks, Brendan. In my interview with New Wave Video recently, they revealed that their fourth title will be Noriko's Dinner Table. This is essentially a companion piece to Suicide Club from Shion Sono. This is like it's not necessarily a prequel. Well, it's kind of like a prequel and postquel. Is that the word? It's like a prequel and a sequel at the same time because it bookends it, sort of.
Oh, okay. It's like the
yes.
sandwich.
It
Like the
is.
bun.
It's the breads and Suicide Club is the sandwich. That's
There we go.
not a tasty sandwich. But yeah, this should be coming sometime in the new year, and looking forward to that.
Cool.
Now, on to the most atrocious art that has come out this year. And what's funny is I had already showed this art on the German release just to talk about how bad the art was a couple months ago. And I got a comment that said, if you look in the bottom, it says the art is to be confirmed. Well, they have confirmed it. Universal is releasing this atrocious either AI or Photoshop job of Casino. And first of all, that is supposed to be Sharon Stone on the right. That looks like Beyonce fell into a vat of mayo, and it's not good.
She just looks really surprised, like what?
So
You're taking your
surprised
photo
her
now?
head stretched.
Oh, that too, yeah. Yeah, it's, you know what? It's okay. Like, if this was real, maybe it could work. Maybe you don't need all this like rainbow stuff around the lens flares, you know?
You know what's
Whatever that
hilarious?
is.
I like the Vegas lens flare in the background. If that would have been the entire cover, and it wouldn't have had the three people, and it would have just been the colors with Vegas on the bottom like this. Oh, I was hiding it with the comment. So Vegas is at the bottom of the steelbook. If you left that and just took the three people off, I feel like that'd be good looking.
But like, if the three people were shot, you know, like a real photo, it's similar to like the Goodfellas original cover. That I think that could work. This is
no,
just
I'm sure.
crap.
I'm sure it would be great. I was just trying to save them money too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But isn't this AI? Didn't we determine that, or no?
I mean, it's either AI or really, really bad Photoshop.
Okay. Maybe
I'm not sure.
both.
Yes, they photoshopped the AI. It is possible. Really puts the no in Casino. She kind of looks like a conehead. She does. Why is her head so tall? She is like the punchline of the horse walking to the bar, and the bartender says, "Why the long face?" Your head is not that long. Anyway,
yeah.
we got more nasty ones to point out from Universal later, so we'll come back onto them. But for covers, 88 Films is putting out a website exclusive of the film SS Experiment Love Camp. This is coming out on 4K over in the UK and the US. This is coming out on October 27th. You can only buy this on their website. And this is a hardbox release with the original Video Nasty cover art. Now, when this title was first announced, everybody was up in arms. Oh, they can't release the original art. Well, look at it. They did. And they're trying to get you because it is the only one that will be a website exclusive. So now you can go buy it from them. It's a crazy cover. Obviously, the black circles are not there on the cover, but YouTube does not like nipples, so here we are.
Have you seen this?
I have not seen this. This will be my first time
either.
when this comes out.
Oh, you're gonna get it? Okay.
I'm kind of into the Video Nasty stuff, so I definitely want to see it. Sure.
I really want to get the Elsa 4K. It's 4K, right?
Yeah.
From Kino?
Yep.
Okay. I need that, but I've never seen this one. I don't know. Maybe I'll get it. I love this artwork.
That first Ilsa 4K is in October, and the second one is coming in November. That quickly.
I thought they were going to do a box set.
They will, just like the Pink Panther ones we just talked about. They're doing all four, and then they're going to bundle them all together after that.
I don't like that.
I
want all of them right away. Anyways.
Daddy Deathbone says, I did not see this one. Looks great.
Oh.
Next,
Lord.
we got the third announcement, speaking of Japanese films, of the Obayashi titles coming from Cult Epics that I've helped produce special features on. This one is The Island Closest to Heaven from 1984, coming on November 25th, with cover art by the amazing friend of the channel, Sam Smith, and man, does he nail it every single time. I think that is gorgeous. Cannot wait to see this in hand. This one has a 2K restoration of the film, an audio commentary by Derek Smith, who Aaron over from Cinejourneys helped me find Derek Smith, and Derek crushed it. This commentary is great. Everybody should check this out. There's also a visual essay by Alex Pratt on Katakawa, which is the production company behind these four films. and Obayashi. And then there is a Tomoya Harada 28 Days in Caledonia, the making of the island closest to heaven special featurette that came from the previous release. Some trailers, and then new slipcase, of course. And then there will be my favorite part of this entire release. We've got a reproduction of the original 24-page Japanese booklet, and they just essentially reprinted the entire thing so you could archive it and see what it looked like. I love that.
Sweet. I haven't seen this one, but I grabbed the Third Window box set of these films when they came out. Was it like 2 or 3 years? 4 years ago? Yeah, this is it's a while ago now. Now that I think about it,
it's been a bit, yeah.
This is maybe the only one I haven't had a chance to watch yet. Did you like this one?
I kind of love all of these.
Okay.
I think they're all very unique because none of them really feel the same. In fact, one of them feels like an anime. This one feels like a dreamy drama.
Right.
His Motorbike, Her Island is like, I don't know, this like takedown of toxic masculinity in a way, but it's like this very brutish type of story that they're telling with it. And then School in the Crosshairs is it's the closest one to House of the four.
Yeah.
And it's just bonkers. Like School in the Crosshairs is amazing.
It's kind of almost like political. It feels like a political allegory for fascism, and then it turns into like a fireworks display at the end. It's amazing.
Yeah. That box set, by the way, came out in October of 22. So yeah, it's been 3 years.
Okay. Wow.
Next up, the thing that got me the most racist comments on Facebook this week.
What? What happened?
Warner Archive releasing the Tom and Jerry The Golden Era Anthology from 1940 to 1958 on December 2nd, all on Blu-ray. This is a 6-disc deluxe collection. It has all of the theatrical shorts here, 114 of them across 6 discs. And the big story here, which is why I got so many crazy comments, these are all uncut. So we even have 2 all-new, never-before-seen featurettes, including Lady of the House, the story of Mammy Two Shoes, which is one of the more stereotyped depictions that they had on one of these. And then there's Animal Hijinks, the Friends and Foes of Tom. And then there's a collectible 28-page booklet that will be in here as well with the artwork and essays. This is an incredible looking release, but my God, the amount of people in the comments demanding that the blackface be visible in this release, or please tell me this will not be woke like all of the other terrible releases in the last 30 years is atrocious. There are literally, if you go over to Facebook and look at this announcement post, hundreds of comments like that. And I gotta be honest, I'm usually very composed in response to things. I lost it a couple times, and man, I lashed out to some people, and it's really funny, I think.
Whoa, Brian, you turned woke on them. How dare you?
I did turn woke, yes.
Well, these people sound like idiots.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes,
I'm sorry if they're not sorry if they're I don't know.
No, I'm not sorry at all.
I don't know how to deal with that anymore.
I agree, Wave. You are absolutely correct. All right. I am going to the next one. This is another weird looking cover. Fifth Season, which is one of the production companies that works with Apple TV. They are releasing a Blu-ray of The Morning Show, seasons 1 and 2. This is coming on November 11th. And I don't think there are any extras here. I can't find anywhere that is showing any extras on here. And this is 20 episodes of TV, which I'm glad that they're getting a physical media release, especially when it's been on Apple TV. And those are kind of hard to come by. However, this thing right now is going for $100. And $100 for 20 episodes, when we just talked about Curb Your Enthusiasm, is $130 at retail. There's a big difference there.
Yeah.
This is kind of crazy priced, I think.
Had you heard of this show? I'd never even heard of it.
I have heard of the show. Like, I think there was even some Emmy nominations for this show, but at $100.
Damn.
Unless that goes down by like $40, I don't see this as being properly priced at all.
I don't get it.
That's a lot.
Yeah. For what was it? 20 episodes?
20 episodes, yeah.
These half
And-
hour or hour long episodes?
Ooh, I've never watched this. I think Ronnie has watched this. Is this half hour?
What?
I'm not sure. Half
Exactly.
hour or hour. So yeah, the other thing, this is Jennifer Aniston, and this next to her, this is supposed to be Reese Witherspoon. And I don't
Okay.
know if I just haven't seen Reese Witherspoon in years. That
Since
does not
Fear?
look like Reese Witherspoon. How are we at
Throwback.
Fear references tonight? To me, that doesn't look like Reese on the cover.
Yeah. I don't
Ronnie
think they were in the
says-
same room when they took this
No.
photo. Yeah.
Ronnie says it's an hour long.
Oh,
they think.
that's why.
And yes, Gary, I think most of the Apple TV shows are 4K. So why is this a Blu-ray? Honestly, to save some money, probably.
It's 8 disc set. Is that what that says? 8 disc? Wait, did you
Yeah, 8 disc, I think.
what? Why is it that many discs?
That is a lot of discs.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
That's why it's $100.
I did not see that before. Good eye, Bob. Anyways, hey, I talked about
you
Split
saw,
Bill
yeah.
earlier, but this is coming on Blu-ray on December 16th from Decal and Neon Rated. Yeah, check it out if what I said earlier sounds good. If not, maybe stream it to see if you like it first.
It looks like the movie you described.
Yes, very complex and very messy.
Yeah. There's a goldfish.
That no spoilers. However, the goldfish has a reference in the roller coaster scene that I was talking about, which is why it is one of the funniest comedy scenes of all time.
Is a goldfish riding a roller coaster?
I will not say anymore. And if you want to be spoiled
Wow.
after the stream, let's discuss, because oh
Okay.
my god, it is hilarious.
I'm sold.
November 26th, Imprint is releasing the complete series of Stingray from 1964. This is one of the Jerry Anderson and Sylvia Anderson shows. This is a 7-disc Blu-ray set, all 39 episodes included. Plus, they've got all kinds of extras on here. Both of the compilation films are also included. I kind of love the way that they are presenting these releases of the Anderson series. And yeah, this looks good. Looks like a good release.
What else did these people make?
They made the Thunderbirds show.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And when I zoom in here, you might remember like the look of these. I believe they're puppets.
Okay, I love puppets.
It's a weird sentence, but somehow
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding. Somehow I was going to say I love puppets too, and maybe to make it more weird, when I was in the gifted and talented in elementary school, I was placed into a puppeteering class, and I had to make a marionette and a hand puppet and something else that I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Oh, so you went from making fun of me to one-upping me, right?
Not making fun of, making light of the situation because it was
Okay,
funny.
okay.
But,
All right,
yes.
all right. Well, you are the master of puppets.
That was a segue that I should have used. November 25th, Kino is releasing a Blu-ray only box set of the Death Wish collection. Yes, Charles Bronson in all of the Death Wish films. We get 1, 2, and 3 in one set, 4 and 5 in another set. And Kino before this had not released part 2, and they are releasing a standalone of part 2 as well. So these are going to be released on the same day. For the record, Death Wish 2 gets both cuts of the film. I don't remember, but I don't think Vinegar Syndrome on their 4K release had both cuts of the film. This is going to have both cuts of part 2. Part 3 has an alternate ending, which has never been released anywhere before. Part 3 is also getting a 4K release from Kino as well. So if you are checking out Death Wish, love Charles Bronson, even though this is a bit of a downgrade, because 1, 2, and 3 will have 4K releases, and this is a Blu-ray box set, this might be a really great release of this set.
Is there going to be a box set of the 4Ks?
No, because 4 and 5 are not on 4K, and this is what they're choosing to do.
Okay.
it is a bit of an odd choice.
Yeah.
I especially when you've already done 1 and 3's already coming. Why would you not just put those 4K discs in here as well?
Is it like cheaper or something?
I mean, 4K is more expensive, but Kino
Yeah.
puts out like 17 4Ks a week. You're not losing much money putting this out on 4K.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like these movies.
Not okay. 4K.
4K. That's probably not the first time you've said that on here, eh?
Actually, I think it is. But
What?
I think that's only the second A that we've gotten tonight. So we gotta pump those numbers up.
I'll get them up there, eh?
Next, we're getting Pure Cinema in a 4K Steelbook on December 9th. Cinedigm and Screambox are releasing Screamboat from this year. Yes, the public domain horror film making fun of Steamboat Willie. This is coming in a 4K and Blu-ray Steelbook set. You get a making of, you get a deleted scenes, and then audio commentary with David Howard Thornton, the man that plays the star of the Terrifier franchise, Art the Clown. So,
have you seen this?
I have not seen this. The only one of the
Okay.
public domain horror films I've seen is the Bambi one that came out this year.
Okay, I haven't seen any of them. Somebody was recommending me this one on Letterboxd, and I clicked on it and I saw like it was all bad reviews, but this
Yeah.
person was like, "No, they don't understand. It's so fun." I'm looking at it. I'm like, "Yeah, if I can stream it, yeah, why not?" But I love the Terrifier movies, so maybe it'll be good.
I've heard this one is fun. I've heard that Neverland Nightmare, the Peter Pan one from this year, is supposed to be the best one, supposedly.
Oh, maybe I'll start there.
And look at that. Ronnie says Screamboat is going to be streaming on Peacock starting tomorrow.
Peacock. I think that's an American streaming channel. So
Yes, it is the
Yeah.
NBC streaming service.
yeah, I'll find it. I'll find a way.
Gary says, I would have called it Steamboat Killy.
Steamboat Killy. Oh no.
Oh, man. It could have been Screamboat Killy at that point.
Screamboat Killy. Oh yeah.
Carrie
The
Mulligan
mean
says,
one.
Screamboat was a lot better than the mean one, but I don't understand why that director hires Thornton but doesn't utilize him too well. Well, not only that, isn't his face not visible in most of the film? That's what I've heard. I mean, and that's like for Art the Clown, that's one of the things, like his face is visible.
True.
I don't know. Anyways, that's Screamboat coming on December 9th. Next, November 3rd, we get a Blu-ray in the UK from Screenbound of The Old Gun from 1975. I've heard this is amazing. This says a gripping French war drama set in 1944 starring the acclaimed Philippe Noiret, something like that. I'm terrible at French, as everybody told me last week. Thank you. And Romy Schneider. When Surgeon Julien Dendieu's wife and daughter are massacred by, I'm using French accent when I shouldn't be now, are massacred by SS troops, his quiet life turns into a chilling quest for vengeance. Armed with an old hunting rifle and unrelenting grief, he methodically hunts their killers in a remote chateau. That is a French word I should have used. Winner of 3 César Awards, including Best Film. No extras on this. And I'm sitting here with a Canadian. I should have had you read all the French words.
No, I don't know French. My wife is fluent, though. I could bring her in here. But yeah.
Yeah, I need to see this. I've heard that it's very good.
It sounds cool. I would watch that. It's like a revenge film, pretty much, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Coming out on the same day from the same company, Screenbound, on November 3rd in the UK, is The Children of Huang Shi. This is from 2008, starring Chow Yun-fat, looking a little old there. Michelle Yeoh, looking a little young there. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, looking the same as always there. This says, in 1930s China, British journalist George Hogg, an American nurse named Li, and a Chinese partisan leader named Chen joined together to rescue 60 orphans. Together, they lead the children on an amazing but dangerous journey over snow-covered mountains and harsh desert terrain in search of a safe haven. Sibner says, French is not Ryan's je ne sais quoi. That was a joke. I know how to read the word. That was on purpose. Do not attack me, please. Ronnie says, I wasn't trying to attack you last week, trying to teach you. Oh, no. I was not saying you, Ronnie. I got, I should have gave some context. I got multiple DMs after last week's show of making fun of my friend.
Wow.
Multiple DMs just saying, hey, your French is bad. And no, all of it was done in like a playful jest way. None of it was mean. I did not mean it like that. I just needling back like everybody else did. But I appreciate it because I need to learn how to speak certain French words better, especially because they keep coming up.
Can you speak Spanish?
I actually can. I grew up in Southern California, and I took 3 years of Spanish in high school. So
that's pretty good.
It's muy bien, yeah. October 20th, over in the UK, we are getting a Blu-ray release from Kaleidoscope of Strange Journey, the story of Rocky Horror. This has also led to me banning multiple people from my Facebook page today.
What?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Homophobic assholes are...
What?
Yep.
What year is this?
I will refrain from saying what I want to right now.
Okay.
This is a in-depth documentary on Rocky Horror Picture Show with revelatory interviews from the original cast, including Tim Curry, Susan Sarandon, Barry Bostwick, Patricia Quinn, and more. I'm very eager to see this. I kind of wish they were able to include this with the 4K release. I feel like this would have been great.
Money in the bank.
Yeah, but they said no. No, nobody said no. They didn't even try. They probably didn't even know it was coming.
I would like to watch this.
Yeah, I will be watching this for sure eventually.
Is there one on Phantom of the Paradise? Do you know?
Ooh, an actual documentary? I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay.
That would make fun. Well, and actually, speaking of that, guess what today is? Brian De Palma's birthday. How timely!
Oh, shit.
Happy birthday, Brian De Palma!
He was born on 9/11
and New York City. Wait.
That sucks.
I love that you didn't lean into that for Craig, who is in the chat earlier, but Brian De Palma.
I don't know.
Oh, this is fun. And Sibner in the chat says it's his dad's birthday. Yay!
Happy birthday, Mr. Sibner.
Let's keep going to more atrocious cover art jobs. First
Whoa,
off,
what
is this?
Is this like the sequel to Reba?
Yes, kind of, exactly. This is another TV show. Coming on November 4th, we are getting from Universal, again, the one that just butchered Casino, a Blu-ray release of Happy's Place Season 1. This is a Reba McEntire-led show, returning to a multicam sitcom. And good Lord, does that cover look atrocious?
It's not a happy place.
No, I don't feel very happy looking at it.
No.
Cheers but country, says Wave. That's what it feels like. Is that the ghost of Chachi haunting the cover? I don't know, but I've heard Joni loves them. Carrie Mulligan says it's also John Ritter's death day. Jeez.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm Reba McEntire of this poor artwork. Oh, that's a good line, Daddy.
Nice.
Why is that so sexual? All right.
Saint Denis Medical.
Yes, and look at again how atrocious Universal is doing this cover art. It's like the exact same thing as Happy's Place. Let's just Photoshop all these people into a cover and make them all look awful.
Okay, wait. David Allen Greer, right. Okay, and then this woman at the bottom right, was she on Fargo season 2 or something? She's in that movie Krampus as well? What are you talking about?
I think that is her.
Okay. And then a bunch of people, I have no idea.
This is Wendy McClellan-Covey, who is in Reno 911.
Oh, in Bridesmaids, right?
Yes, it does not look like her at all.
No, not. She also has a large head, like the
very large head. Yes.
This is Walmart bargain bin.
Ronnie says that is Allison Tolman, who's awesome. So yes, you were right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's pretty funny.
So I didn't even say at the beginning. This is also October 28th, Blu-ray in the U.S. here for Saint Denis Medical Season 1. And just like Ronnie said, like, I didn't watch these shows, but I am very happy that they're still putting out modern shows on physical media and giving some people time to purchase these and see if they're willing to give them a second season or continue to put them on physical. Yeah, cool that they're doing it. There is one more, unfortunately, or maybe two more even. This one's not as bad, and I've heard the show's actually good. October 28th, they're also doing Day of the Jackal Season 1. This is starring Eddie Redmayne. I need to check this out. Supposedly very good. Not nearly as photoshopped as the other two.
Yeah, it's
at least acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is it, my friend.
Wait. I was like, there's a movie of Disconnected?
That's just pinned to the top of the Instagram account.
Right.
So that is the week in announcements, which is much lighter than it has been over the last couple of weeks, which is pretty cool. Let's go into what is releasing next week, in case you forgot. We just talked about this last week, but Tron Legacy and Tron are both getting their 4K Steelbook releases next Tuesday. We get This Is Spinal Tap 4K from Criterion. Next week to come out at the same time as the sequel. Krull 4K Steelbook from Sony, which is going to look amazing.
Yeah.
We got a couple standard releases from Deaf Crocodile going wide with Ruslan and Ludmila, the Pied Piper and Jiri Barta shorts, and The Devil's Bride. Cinderella Man 4K releasing next week. Night of the Juggler 4K, which
have you seen that?
No. Literally last night, my partner in crime, Will Dotson, went to see it in the theater, and we spent, I don't know, 8 or 10 minutes today talking about it on the phone. He was blown away. It was the first time he's ever seen it, and he could not stop raving about it. I am so eager to see it.
Same. Yeah.
Very excited.
Sounds awesome.
Meatballs 4K Steelbook from Lionsgate Limited. This is already shipping. Tyler wants to know who's releasing that Krull. It is Sony. Sony is releasing it. Moving right along, we get the underseen and under-released on physical media Halloween and Halloween 2 on 4K Steelbooks from Scream Factory. Yes, that was a joke, Bob.
I was like, wait, is it like the Rob Zombie one? We're like, what are you talking about?
No. These are still the underseen ones. The Betrayal from Radiance is next week. Daybreakers 4K from Lionsgate Limited. Speak No Evil, the U.S. remake from... this is the studio, not Scream Factory. That's the James McAvoy film, which James McAvoy also having a bad week. He was physically assaulted.
I heard he handled it pretty well, though. He just like laughed it off or something, and the guy was like wasted. It happened in Toronto this past week.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a weird memory to have as I saw his face. Born in Flames from Criterion is next week. Flaming Brothers from Eureka coming out. Hellbender, which highly recommended. This is coming out from Arrow. This is the Addams family that made that film.
Oh yeah, okay.
From VCI, the Buster Keaton Show coming to Blu-ray. I believe this is for the first time. Los Golfos from Radiance as well. The Alexander Petishko Fantastica box set from Deaf Crocodile getting a wide release. Requiem for a Dream 4K gift set, which is still the weirdest sentence to say ever, because if I'm giving you that as a gift, I really don't like you. Best Christmas Movies Ever documentary from MVD Rewind. Volcanizadora from Oscilloscope, which I've been...
That movie's great. I watched it recently. It's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Wrong Arm of the Law, another Peter Sellers coming from Kino. Dakota from Cult Epics. Hotel Rwanda media book from Cape Light. The John Wayne Gacy Murders, The Life and Death in Chicago. If you want to check that out, also coming.
Okay.
We're getting a documentary on MASH next week. Wanted to highlight this one, So Unreal from Altered Innocence, one that I've been very eager to see since that got announced. And then My Dead Friend Zoe, which got quite a lot of great reviews earlier this year. Love me some Natalie Morales. This Is My Father from Sony Pictures Classics. Whole bunch of random anime stuff. And then Shakespeare Shitstorm 4K from Troma. That's a Troma film.
Damn.
I forgot about this one. I can't say this word.
Madchen?
Madchen in uniform. I believe it's Maiden in uniform is the other way to
Okay.
say that. Ronnie will probably correct me on that one. I'm definitely wrong there. We got Big Helium Dog getting its first release through MVD and that partnership that they did. The Santo vs. Infernal Men from VCI. We've got Tulsa Terrors from VCI, and that is
What is the Tulsa Terrors? That looks interesting.
It is supposedly a documentary on
Oh.
films made in Tulsa. It covers Blood Cult, The Ripper, and it's the story of the made-for-home video movie business in Tulsa, I believe.
I mean, that sounds great, but I was hoping it was going to be those movies all in one set. I love sets like that.
Yeah, those can be pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
Madchen. I was kind of close.
Madchen.
All right, that is it for the week. Next week, any of those you're excited for that you've got pre-ordered?
No. Sorry. No, it was a lot that I didn't know was coming out. I think all the pre-orders I did was like 2 weeks ago, you know?
Yeah.
But there was some stuff there I really want to check out. Yeah. Yourself?
I do have Meatballs coming. That
Nice.
was almost a weird sentence. I haven't seen Meatballs in a long time, and I definitely wanted to see it on 4K. Other than that, Hellbender, and I will eventually get Spinal Tap on 4K because it's Spinal Tap.
That makes sense.
And I already got the one Volcana Zadora that you saw because I subscribed to Oscilloscope, so I already got that one in.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I watched it on Prime. Have you seen any other films by Joel Petrakis, I believe his name is?
I'm not sure. I'm going to go click on the movie and see what the list is. Do you know all the titles offhand?
Buzzard, Refresher, I think is what it's called.
Relaxer.
Right.
I've seen Relaxer, yes.
Okay, did you like it?
I loved Relaxer.
Oh, okay.
I truly loved it. I got it from Anti-Worlds. It's like the partner, well, not partner. It's like the sister company of Indicator over in the UK that focuses on modern films. And it was one of their first releases, and I really liked it. Really
cool.
liked it.
Yeah, then I think you'll love Vulcanizadora. It is kind of a weirdly, I think it's almost like a loose sequel to Buzzard. So if you can see Buzzard at some point before Vulcanizadora, maybe will help, but I don't think it's a huge deal.
I think Oscilloscope did that one too, right?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I don't own either of them. I think I rented all of those when they came out.
I didn't realize it was the same director that did Ape and The Alchemist Cookbook, and both of those came out through OCN.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen those, but I'd like to see more of his work. It's all like, I mean, yeah, you've seen I can't remember Relaxer.
Yeah,
right?
good job.
Yeah, Relaxer. It's all kind of in a similar, like, I guess, kind of mumblecore vibe. But this one feels the most ambitious and the heaviest, I would say. Yeah. I've never even heard of Madchen in uniform. All the money went to Imprint. Yeah, I mean, Imprint seems to be killing it right now.
I mean, I gotta admit, their Jade release is looking better by the day as I QC audio commentaries that are going to be on that disc.
Oh shit!
It's their stuff. By the way, that we didn't talk about that last week, but that their listing for Jade has been updated and includes all of our special features that are going to be on the disc. We did 2 audio commentaries for that, so now that release has 3 brand new audio commentaries, I believe, which is much better than the Vinegar Syndrome release. We also have an interview with the editor that we did, and then a visual essay by Michelle Kisner, which is amazing and incredibly edited. I'm very stoked that we were able to get so much on that disc for sure.
Sweet. That's Schrader?
That is Friedkin.
Friedkin. I tend to get them mixed up for some reason. I don't know why.
Well,
I haven't seen
Friedkin's
it,
the good filmmaker. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. that was a joke.
Damn. That's a hot take.
That was there's gonna be like 19 comments of that in the chat.
Okay, so Friedkin is better.
I think Friedkin is higher highs. Schrader
Yes.
overall might be a little more consistent.
Okay, this is a comparison. Friedkin is Dario Argento. Schrader
Ooh.
is Lucio Fulci.
Oh, that is apt. That is apt. Yep, that was well done.
Money in
Well
the bank.
And I mean, like First Reformed is still great. So yeah, Argento still got some bangers for sure.
Well, I mean, he's kind of tapered off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like Friedkin in a way, but Friedkin, I mean, The Exorcist, Sorcerer,
To Live and Die in L.A.
Cruising
is amazing.
Yeah.
Carrie Mulligan says, "Damn, I bought that VS Jade release thinking a release of that film would never be better. Sorry, it's much better, but also it's. I hate to say that. Well, never mind. I won't go into the pricing because imprint is. I understand the problems with imprint's pricing right now. Like The Last Seduction is up for pre-order and it's like $106 for one movie, and to me that's crazy pants. But the Jade release is, it's going to be great, and it is significantly cheaper than The Last Seduction. But I get it, especially because for a lot of people it would be double dipping because they probably got it from VS. Gentry from the Sin Syndicate podcast.
Oh shit, Gentry.
Audio commentary by Nina K. Martin and Will Dodson. Nina K. Martin is the author of Sexy Thrills, Undressing the Erotic Thriller. That commentary was literally recorded this morning, and it is fantastic. It is very, very good.
Sweet.
All right. Bob, why are we talking about harsh coming-of-age films tonight?
Because they break your heart and your spirit.
Well, and for everybody, like they don't know what that means possibly. So how do you define a harsh coming of age?
I think that I started grouping these all together after watching a few films in particular where it felt like a coming of age film where these really harsh moments were happening that weren't fully explained. And the more films I watched that kind of fell under this umbrella, it reminded me of like my own experiences growing up of like when you go through a traumatic event, it's not like everything wraps up neatly, and it's not like you have all the answers right away to kind of like file it away, and it's interesting for me to watch these films where directors are actually kind of leaving you out on your own to like decipher what's going on in these films, so that's why I started grouping together these films that I feel managed to tap into kind of like a level of harsh content, within the confines of like a coming of age story that is doing something really compelling.
Well said. And the coming of age part specifically, because that across the board can be kind of broken down in different ways. How are you like classifying coming of age? Is it any story about somebody under 18? Is it like specifically over a period of time? Is it like, how are you defining coming of age?
I mean, definitely youths, people that are young. But for instance, a film like Trainspotting, this felt to me like the first kind of big harsh coming of age film, and I think the characters in this are kind of like late teens, early 20s. I guess Donnie Darko could kind of fit in that, although with Donnie Darko, to me there's something a bit more sci-fi involved, and there's elements that are a little too surreal, whereas something like Trainspotting, the coming of age is like coming of age is like literally like growing up, you know what I mean? And Trainspotting, the big kind of arc that happens is that like Renton grows up, and so that's kind of like a big aspect of these films that I've kind of grouped together is that like there's either at least like the characters have aged and sort of progressed, or there's sort of like a comment on the lack of that. There's a tension because of the lack of that progression, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
River's Edge, perfect, yeah.
there's definitely a lot of tension in literally all of these films.
Hmm.
There are many, and we're obviously seeing lots of them in chat tonight that immediately spring to mind. And I am so curious because I know that you are going to go into some deep cuts on your list for sure. I've got on mine probably 2 or 3 that are perhaps a little obvious, but the way that I approach this is because I talk about so many things on the show every week because it is weekly. I tried to talk about 5 that I haven't talked about either ever or in a long time, and so I
Mm.
wanted to be able to highlight some of these. So let's start. And by the way, we're not ranking these; these are just like 5 of our
No, no.
favorites. This would be a really weird genre to rank and say like this is the best one because
Yeah.
it would be hard to compare.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like Train Spotting is such a personal film, but I have Come and See as a possible one.
Yeah,
Was please come back. Oh, well, thank you. Come and See to me though is sort of like a better made film.
yeah.
Don't yeah, that could work. Although Don't Deliver Us from Evil, that's the one that's based on the story that Heavenly Creatures, I believe, is also based on. Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that could definitely work. It is sort of like a true crime story for sure. Yeah. I mean, all these are possibilities. My dream is to one day write a book about it, but I have no idea how to do that. So yeah, you were saying?
Just leading into your first pick,
Um,
I tried to not go super mainstream, but like I said, 2 or
okay.
3 of mine are, well, 4 of mine are pretty mainstream movies, but I think at least 3 of these people are not immediately going to be jumping to think of them. So that's the way that
Cool.
I was going for them. So let's hear your first one.
Okay, well, I'm gonna just stick with Train Spotting because this was the first big film for me, and I remember my introduction to this film when I was like, I think in grade 7. I used to read Entertainment Weekly for some reason. I think like my oldest sister used to get it or something. Little Troubled section in my there you go, Troubled Youth, yeah. And I remember reading about this new film that had been playing all these festivals, and it was constantly being compared to A Clockwork Orange, which is a film that at the time when I was like in grade 7, which would have been like I think 12 or 13, I hadn't seen yet, but it was one of those films that had kind of been like considered like, oh my god, it's like a rite of passage, like it's one of the most disturbing films ever, so it kind of put in my head that this is going to be a really terrifying film.
Right.
um and so when I finally watched it, I was like, oh, it's actually not that scary, but at the same time there is something really provocative about it, and there's like certain moments in it that I'd never experienced before, but at the
Yeah.
same time I was still like relating to it. And maybe that was the first time I ever watched something that was like this harsh but relatable at the same time. And the older I get, the more I watch this, it reminds me of like aspects of my youth. And the end, like the last time I watched it, I cried so much at the ending when he's like walking down the street and he's got that whole speech going, because it just
Yeah.
made me think about like all the friends I grew up with that all went like dark paths, like
Yeah.
succumbed to like drug addiction and things like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So this would be the first one I would put on that.
For those that haven't seen it, what is like the harshest aspects of Train Spotting in your mind?
That's an interesting question because a lot of people would say the heroin usage and like the overdosing and everything is
Right.
pretty harsh and like everything that goes with that. But I actually weirdly find Begbie, his violence, to be really hard to wrap your head around. I think that we're so often like we're kind of made, especially as men, to feel like, oh, it's part of being masculine is to be very violent and macho and everything.
Yep.
But the way that that film deals with his violence is, I found like really uncomfortable. And again, it reminded me of certain friends I had where, as an adult, I realized like, no, that actually wasn't cool that that person did that, and like that led to more abusive behavior. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for me personally, it is like Begbie's violence in that film.
It's an interesting take. I'm curious with how you're speaking about that. I'm sure you've seen it, and if not, it's okay. How do you feel about SLC Punk? Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I've seen that many times. It's weird. It's a kind of film to me that I find like deeply flawed for many reasons, but there is some really powerful moments to it. I mean, I don't know if I can spoil it per se, but the certain thing that happens at the end that is
Yeah.
heartbreaking is legitimately heartbreaking, and the message of the film about at the very end about like Matthew Lillard's character, like his arc and everything is really poignant, you know. And
Yeah.
there's to me, it's like a film that's kind of bad at points, but by the very end of it, it earns a lot of its messaging and it earns a lot of its power. If that makes sense. Are you a fan?
I have always liked SLC Punk more than Train Spotting, and it might just be because I saw it first, and
Okay.
it I don't know, it hit more at home for some reason. And I guess one of
Hmm.
the main reasons could be is because I've lived a fairly vanilla life. Like, I've never done any drugs. I've never been drunk in my life. I've never smoked a
Really?
cigarette. Nothing. I
Wow.
mean, I've drank many times, but I've never been drunk. And I don't know, something about the nature of a lot of the drug scenes in Train Spotting, like, I eh, it's meant to be off-putting, but it's off-putting in a way that is a little less relatable for me,
Okay.
potentially, because I've been so
Sure.
vanilla. And SLC Punk, it's got just more of like a punk vibe to it, and that was
Totally.
a scene that I was in, obviously. And so yeah,
Same. Yeah.
that's definitely a big thing.
Cool. I can appreciate that. Yeah.
I do need to see Train Spotting again. I've not seen the 4K. It's been a while since I've seen Train Spotting. I
It's
gotta be honest.
great. Yeah, I think you might like it more now, and maybe even
Probably.
just maybe after our conversation, even, you know?
I would imagine so.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, my first pick is a movie that I love, and I've not talked about this on here since like the first year of this show. So I'm so glad that I get an opportunity to bring this up again, because so many people still have not seen it somehow. 2017's Mexican horror film Tigers Are Not Afraid.
Oh,
Um,
haven't seen that. I heard
this
really good
is
things though.
this is amazing. It is directed by Isa Lopez, this incredible female director that made a story about essentially a group of children trying to survive in the cartel overran gangland of Mexico. And what's amazing is that it is crafted in a way to be a fairy tale of sorts, in like this coming of age horror film bottle surrounding this fairy tale. And this movie is surreal, it's unique, it is filmed in a way that is visually dark, but also the story itself quite dark. I mean, how do you talk about death and the cartels and not be dark, obviously? But
Mm,
it's an interesting way to see different age brackets of children and how they make choices, how they rely on each other, how they grow from there. And then the way that there are literal surreal elements dropped into the film that are not actually there. And so try not to spoil much of this
mm.
film, because I know many still have not seen this, but it is a modern horror masterpiece, I would say. And it is underseen, it is overlooked, it is not really discussed. And then we obviously have this trope in the US when we're covering things to not cover international films as much. And Shudder specifically was the home for this film. This was like one of the first either Shudder Originals or Shudder Presents or whatever, where they were like the home for this film. And now they're putting out this 10 film box set next month
Oh
that
yeah.
this film I feel like should have been in that box set, but they're leaning much more recent in the box set.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
this movie deserves to be in more people's hands. If you've never seen it, please seek it out. It is beautiful. It is harrowing in this really adult way for a story genuinely about like actual children, not even like this isn't like 16-year-olds. We're talking like like kids.
Yeah.
This is a really great way to show, again, because it's like a group of kids, you get so many different ages that the reactions are different. The way that they're emotionally responding is different. And it's, you can feel how harrowing it is. I adore this.
Wow. Sounds amazing. Is it still on Shutter to stream?
I don't have Shudder anymore, so I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it is. If
Okay.
not, there was a disc release. I'm not even sure if that's still in print because it's this movie is 8 years old now, which is wild considering how early it was. Oh,
Yeah.
Ronnie's cutting out. So while you go talk about your second title, I'm gonna reconnect my microphone.
Okay. Next up. So this is a lesser known film, but this is an early Paul Verhoeven film called Spetters, which I believe translates to hunks in English. Now, this film, this is so up my alley and so unique. I think I originally was describing this to friends as if you're familiar with Degrassi, the original like the early Canadian TV show, they
Right.
had a TV movie called School's Out, which kind of capped off the whole original series. So it was like a TV movie that was surprisingly really upset. Bob Tigers is awesome. Thank you, Corinne.
Somehow we're getting a comment saying it doesn't look like it is still on Shudder, and then Corinne says it is still on Shudder.
Okay.
I'm very
Might
confused by these.
be. Well, I have Canadian Shutter, so maybe it's on one or the other.
Is that spelled with an A then? Shudder
What?
A. Never mind.
Shatter?
Shudder. No, spelled with an A. E-H. Shudder.
Oh,
That was a terrible joke.
You gotta. Time to reconnect your microphone, man. Come on.
Oh, that was fun.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So this, I was trying to compare this to Schools Out, but basically, it feels initially like a bubbly teen sex comedy. It kind of has that presentation and feel as it follows these two. Okay. Not sure. Yeah, I can check after the stream. Thank you, though, Corinne. Okay. It's supposed to include Shutter. That is true. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So this follows Oh, awesome. 3 friends that are motocross racers, motocross enthusiasts. One of them is like a star athlete. One of them is sort of like a hanger-on, and one of them is a mechanic. They go around with their girlfriends, going out disco dancing. So the setup is like very upbeat, fun, teen, but things start happening that are very kind of upsetting and dark. One of the initial scenes is actually like a gay bashing hate crime where the whole group of them attack these 2 gay guys, and I think that there was a lot of controversy about this film because of these moments, but it really just takes you to be kind of not a cheap liver. I got this for $30, so I did go out of print. I got this a few years ago during the pandemic. Anyways, yeah. So I think that there was a lot of controversy about this film, and I think that it helps to go into it knowing that it is Paul Verhoeven. He does like to kind of throw these curveballs at you, especially when it comes to sexual assault. There's a storyline in this that involves that is really hard to kind of wrap your head around. But basically, the film just follows these 3 friends as they're coming of age, they're growing up, and these really horrible things are happening to them, and they're kind of like coming to terms with how life is horrible and you must go on. And it's almost like all these terrible things could happen in reality, but because it's condensed down to the length of a film, that it seems like the film is really like hyper violent, melodramatic. And it's almost like these people are being subjected to a film in a way, but you start to look back at like, say, your own personal experiences in life, and it is condensed down into this form of like a narrative or a spectacle even of these like traumatic moments that you yourself personally might have experienced. Do you know what I mean? Like that's kind of how you shape memories. And I think that that's kind of what's been partly forming my idea of like grouping these films together, is this idea of like, well, when I do look back at my past experiences, especially the traumatic ones, I do kind of form them into these stories in a way, into these like really intense moments that do feel probably more cinematic in my mind. even though I don't fully understand why they happened or what I can take away from them, which oddly enough is kind of like a film like Spetters, where you just watch these weird strands happen, these weird narrative strands for all these characters, and how it seems like they should just be going about their life dealing with normal problems, but really, really horrible, upsetting, depressing things happen instead. It is Paul Verhoeven, so if you like his other films, like maybe less so his Hollywood films, to be fair, is more like this is maybe a little bit more in the camp of like Starship Troopers of being almost like satire in a way.
Yeah.
But again, way more disturbing and upsetting. But yeah, it's super fun. It has Rutger Hauer in it. Yeah, I really love this movie. It blew me away. Highly recommend Spetters.
I've been meaning to watch that for years. Yes, it has been out of print in the US for a long time. If you are region free, and I'm not sure the disc itself might be region free, there is a UK release that looks to be like £18, and that's it online. And you can probably find that like Rare Waves or somewhere. Thanks, Sibner, for looking that up. I need to check this one out. Yeah, I've been meaning to for ages.
What's your thoughts on Paul Verhoeven? Are you a fan?
I love his stuff, but I've only ever been able really to see because of access the Hollywood stuff. I've never really dove into any of the earlier stuff, which I need to. But I mean, Starship Troopers is one I saw way too young, and loved and didn't understand, and then saw it later and went, "Oh, this is a different movie than I thought," and it's still amazing.
Yeah. I mean, RoboCop is one that every time I watch it, I'm just like, "Oh, good night." Every time I watch it, I get more out of it. It seems to kind of like slightly shapeshift, and become less of this like sci-fi blockbuster. Yeah, it kind of does. You're right. There's a few different covers of this. Unfortunately, it's not a reversible one. But this isn't my favorite post art for sure. It definitely does look like that. That's not really the vibe of the film, though. So, yeah.
Good call on this one. So my next one, this one is probably the most mainstream possible answer for this, but I've not talked about this movie in a long time, and it's kind of timely this week, literally based on what is coming out in theaters this weekend. So 1986 was a year right in the middle of a legendary run of films, and Rob Reiner's Stand By Me is going to live in infamy here. I mean, we've got in order, this is Spinal Tap, almost perfection. The Sure Thing, very good. Stand By Me, perfect movie. Princess Bride, perfect movie. When Harry Met Sally, perfect movie. Misery, perfect movie. A Few Good Men, a few good scenes. Pretty good. But that is a legendary run for a director that I don't think will likely ever be topped. That is so many classics from so many different genres in such a short period of time that is ridiculously perfect. But Stand By Me is the only one in that group that actually fits this criteria, of course, but it's like the definition of the harsh coming of age film. This is a group of four boys that are like very quickly acquainted and very close. And Sibner, I was kidding. I was just making a pun on the title. A Few Good Men is amazing. I'm not doubting you. Calm down. It was just funny.
Relax.
So Stand By Me is about these four boys going to look for a dead body and the journey that it takes them to get there. And along the way, they're like cussing for the first time and fighting and like actually coming of age before your eyes in a way. Like they are genuinely turning from like borderline adolescence to like, oh, suddenly we're fucking adults. We just got woke up by what we just found. And of course, this isn't really a spoiler for a 40-year-old movie, but they found the body, and that in itself is like the climax that you almost don't really expect for this movie, because you're almost at the point of where like they're just going to be a journey to not find something, and it's going to be about the story. But no, like they're going there, and they actually find this, and I think that is funny enough. What actually makes this movie great is it kind of like subverts expectations by giving you what you should expect based on the premise of the story, but you don't really expect the story to go out the way that it does. And I don't know, it's not really like scary or harrowing. It is just the perfect semblance of that line between child and teenager, and it's written so perfectly and done with such like a morbid topic and a morbid small town feel of there's somebody missing and we're going to look for him. That's not a child thing to do. That's something that you do when you're older and fucking around. And it
Yeah.
turns into such a bigger actual story about like, oh no, death is real and we're
Yeah.
growing up before our eyes. So yeah, I haven't talked about Stand By Me in a long time. It is genuinely a perfect movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
That's
love
that
Stand By Me.
scene where they find the dead body is so chilling. I remember as a kid, it really creeped the hell out of me. And that's such a good way of putting it how like when you watch the film, you're not really expecting that kind of like tonal switch in a way. But isn't that kind of how it would happen in
Yeah,
real
you should have
life?
expected that.
And like, isn't that kind of how it happens for them as well? Which is kind of, I don't know. I love that kind of filmmaking where it's like the tone actually matches so perfectly with the narrative, and it makes the audience feel like they're kind of like part of that journey as well, tonally speaking, as well as story wise. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, no, that's a great movie for sure. Definitely
I
fits that.
probably should say, I don't know why I didn't, but the four boys that we see along this legendary cast: Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, Jerry O'Connell, perfect, genuinely perfect. Kiefer Sutherland's also in this. Just incredible casting. They are immediately like the most believable cast of young kids.
Yeah,
everybody fits their role perfectly. Will Wheaton, a star literally only because of this movie, essentially. Yeah,
Star Trek.
I mean, later, yes, but like it established him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, R.I.P. River Phoenix too. Like I
Way
never
too
really got to appreciate him until I was an adult, and then finally seeing like a lot of his big films and just like, wow, incredible actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, sir.
So this is probably, I don't even know if this is like the most obscure one I have, but this one is the one have actually written an article about, and definitely got my mind working in terms of like how to sort of group all of these together. But do you know Typhoon Club?
I do know Typhoon Club.
Have you watched it?
I have not watched it.
Okay.
I need to.
It is one of the most unique films you will ever see. I mean, the way it's marketed, look at like, what kind of film do you think this is based on this cover art? Like, it looks like even this photo on the back, right? It's like, it's going to be this happy, cheery film about school kids, right? But it is instead this like almost meditative film filled with these really random, almost like disconnected moments of like really intense like violence. There's some quite a few like sexual assault kind of scenes, not like, it's hard to explain, but anyways, yeah, very traumatic moments, and yet the film is very languidly paced. Is that the right word? Meditative. So. Yeah, the pace is very meditative. It's so beautifully shot, extremely long takes. And this was the first film I realized, like, wow, these kind of films, like, they kind of just like hit you over the head with something really traumatic, and then they don't explain it at all. The characters involved don't really seem to react to these moments in any kind of way that you think someone should within a narrative. I think we're so used to sitting as armchair critics and going, well, why didn't the person do what they were supposed to in this moment here? When really in actual life, people rarely act how you're supposed to. And you can almost not really predict how people are going to act. And I think this film really nails on the head. Well, at the same time, you can tell that that approach is just because I think they were sort of experimenting with these ideas and sort of themes, you know. It has a very existential feel to it. Yeah, and it you know, as I was talking earlier about how these films you can see sort of like a coming of age, a progression. With this one, it's almost like it doesn't feel like these kids come of age. It feels almost like these kids are trying to savor their last moments of innocence in a way. And there's certain moments that kind of accentuate that, but I can't really get into it without really kind of spoiling it, even though it's not really a super spoilery kind of film. But anyways, yeah, it's like, this was, I think, the first film I saw by Shinji Somei, who has become like one of my recent favorites. And all of his films are just so beautifully shot with these incredibly gorgeous long takes. I've never seen anything like this where, yeah, it's just the perfect amount of like dynamic sort of cinematography, incredible staging. He just nails that. And
Yeah.
yeah, this is just like such a remarkable film. Like I can't recommend it enough.
That is Cinema Guild that did the 4K, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really too familiar with them, to tell you the truth.
Not a company that puts out a lot, but I've only ever heard great things about this movie. Certainly need to watch it for sure. So my next one is the other one that I would say is like extremely mainstream on
Okay.
on this list, and I've got one more that's sort of mainstream, but this extremely mainstream one, I am picking this because this is such a bright film that when you actually think about it for longer than half a second, it's one of the darkest films out there.
Love
And
it.
I adore this movie and always have, and adore the cast. So I had to talk about 1988's Heathers.
Ooh, love that
Uh,
movie.
Heathers, starring Winona Ryder, Christian Slater, Shannon Doherty. Winona Ryder is like the everyman character who is sort of like trying to fit in with the popular girls who are, of course, all named Heather. And she falls in line with the character named JD, which is Christian Slater, who essentially starts her on a path of how do you even explain this? Like sociopathy, essentially. I mean,
Nihilism?
yeah, you take Christian Slater's overall vibe at the time in like Pump Up the Volume and add in the just dire like hatred for everything, and suddenly it is a movie of just expanding your mind into situations that get exceedingly insane and grotesque and everything. Heathers is one of those movies that you watch and then you realize afterwards that it was essentially a satire
Oh,
of
yeah.
like everything surrounding popularity in high school and surrounding the cool kids and that sort of like takedown of the elites and everything that a lot of these movies have lampooned over the years, but this one does it in such a unique way. And the ending of this movie, if you've not seen it, I don't really want to spoil it, but it kind of is essential to spoil it in the discussion. So I just want to say that there's a like insanely violent act that happens that if you're watching this for the first time, you're not expecting, and it's not like gore filled or anything like that. But when you realize, no, they're actually going there in this like teenage dramatic comedy, and they show you what he's doing to climax this film, it's sort of, pardon the pun, but mind blowing, and it's wild that they would choose to just like blatantly display that. And it's truly because it's a takedown of the genre, and because it's high schoolers literally coming of age to where they realize this is all just sort of bullshit. We're all just like faking who we are. This is all a facade. All of this is just a waste of time. We're going to be entirely different people in 5 years. All of that to say, man, this movie is legendary. Shannon Doherty is great. She never gets enough praise for this film, but as the leader of the Heathers clan, essentially, she is just really great. But this made Winona Ryder incredibly amazing. Christian Slater is infectious in this. All of this to say, yeah, this movie, nihilistic beyond belief, but a truly like happy watch somehow. And then at the end you're like, oh wait, this is kind of chilling at the same time too. And on that note, quite timely to watch in 2025.
So I feel like I read about that one, how it was inspired by John Waters.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, okay. Because I feel like that's a good way of maybe getting people ready for the tone of it.
Yep.
You know, because it is very like, and I love this where it's I think I like threw around the term like bubblegum angst or something, you know, like it's like I love that mix of like almost like a campiness, but then with a nihilism, you know.
Yep.
And I mean, you could take it to real extremes as like something like, I don't know if you're familiar with Savage Streets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Linda. Yeah, so just like
Linda Blair.
to me, that's like such a far extreme of it, you know.
Yeah.
But I love that kind of thing. I find it really surreal and chilling, you know?
Yeah, this
Mhm.
is a favorite of mine. I go back to this semi regularly, and genuinely deserves a watch from anybody that's never seen it. It is depressing and yet gleeful in the way that they
Mm.
portray some of this. It's such a uniquely made film that I hate to use this phrase because uh, because I know that Simner just said it, but it's overused by like bigots and idiots. This movie could not be made this way today. Like it
Mm.
genuinely, it would have a completely different feeling, and because of that, like it would lose its power in one way, and it wouldn't even
Mm.
feel like satire. It would feel like, oh shit, like this is just a really out there person in high school and we need to be careful about it. So
Yeah. Well, okay. That kind of makes me think of something I was reading the other day that, you know, the director Kiyoshi Kurosawa, he did like
yeah,
Cure and stuff. Something he was saying about how he used to make a lot of films about the end of the world, but now he doesn't really like doing that anymore because it feels too real.
yeah,
And I think that kind of plays into what we're talking about of like how oh, thank you. Um how you couldn't make a film like that anymore because things are just so different now politically. You know,
yeah,
it's like people don't get the same joys they get out of like, well, what happens if we set this up with this and blow this up here and kill that person? I think now the people that are doing that are like, no, we want to go really far with it. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah.
hard to find that kind of balance of tones and stuff.
Yeah, and that's, I think that's one of the like the majestic properties of this movie is that it is literally balanced in a way that it, again, it sounds weird to say, but it's like a fun happy-go-lucky movie that is dark beyond belief when
Hmm.
you actually think about it, more than surface level in any way.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I gotta watch that one again. I've like that's one I've seen since I was a kid, and I got the Blu-ray during like one of the Arrow sales.
Yeah.
So, man, those Arrow sales during the pandemic was like, all right, here we go. Because I have a multi-regional player, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's deadly.
All right, sir, your fourth pick.
Wow. I can't remember if this is a region B. I feel like, oh no, it's multi-region. Okay, so this I've got really into this director this past year and read his one of his biography recently because he died fairly young. But Alan Clark's Scum.
Nice.
Yeah, have you seen this one?
A while ago, but yeah, I did.
Okay, so this was I think the first one I watched of Alan Clark was Elephant, oddly enough. Um, and then I started going through because a bunch of his films were on or they're still on YouTube and like pretty decent quality. And then I
Right.
watched this and then I picked it up. I still haven't watched the TV version of it, but this is a great harsh coming of age film. Watch everything. Okay. Um, in that I think what this film does really well because it takes place in I believe it's a borstal, which is sort of like a prison in between a juvenile juvenile detention center and a prison. So it's like these boys that are late teens around there. Um, and so there's a lot of violence and it feels like almost like gang violence in a way, like people kind of like trying to be one up each other and, you know, gain power and things like that. And it's really exciting to watch in that sense, but it gets so grim as it
Yeah.
goes. And by the end of it, you kind of realize like it's sort of saying, okay, how do I put this? Um, a lot of crime I think happens because of the circumstances that are pushed onto people by the higher ups. Do you know what I mean? Like the
Of course.
governments, whatever. Like people are in different situations that push them towards violence, whatever it is. And this is kind of a microcosm of that in a sense that because of the way that these boys are treated, they don't initially act out against the higher ups, they act out on each other, you know? And it takes the whole film for them to kind of maybe realize that or more for like the story to realize that. And that's something I really loved about it. It's sort of a more of a like a political leaning harsh coming of age film because of that. And yeah, as I said, like I haven't watched the TV version yet, but from what I was reading in the biography on Alan Clark, the TV version actually leans more into the um like homosexuality, I guess would be the best way to put it, of like how they Ray Winston's character forces other boys to be like his lovers, and things like that. That comes up a little bit in this, and I find that really fascinating that the TV version that initially came out was more interested in that aspect of this like microcosm kind of world. But yeah, with that being said, like this is such a harsh film. It's really exciting, great acting. I mean, Alan Clark, all of his films, the acting is always insanely good. And I can't recommend his films enough. There are a lot of them are on YouTube too. And most of them are pretty short because they were TV films, so they're usually around like an hour 20 or less. Yeah, if you're into like Mike Lee kind of stuff, but wish that it was more violent, Alan Clark, Scum, all of his stuff is great for that.
Good release. 88 Films just released this on 4K like 2 months ago.
I know. I gotta, okay, like as a rule, do you always upgrade?
No.
Because, and this is one of the hot takes that I was like, I might have to drop this because I was initially like, I want to upgrade. I want to like get the 4Ks of all the movies I love. To tell you the truth, there's the two that made me go, I don't know if I need to do this. The Thing and Poltergeist.
Oh.
When I got those 4Ks and I threw them on, I was like, I don't really see much of a difference. I don't know if this is necessary. Now, Suspiria, Santa Sangre, King of New York, like those ones, yeah. Those fucking blew my face off.
I would say The Thing is a pretty great looking 4K.
Maybe I don't have it set up right. I don't know.
Poltergeist a little less so, but it's still a pretty good 4K.
Did you have the Blu-ray though before it?
Oh, I mean, I've owned The Thing on like 9 different formats.
Oh,
So,
my bad.
No, that was not meant to brag, but
I just wish
like,
you said, you know who you're talking to?
sir.
Sir,
No, that was more of like it's The Thing. Come on, like everybody has The Thing. So yeah, it's one of those movies that I've watched so many times, but the first time seeing it on 4K, it did feel like wow, this actually does feel different for me at least.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have my TV set up right. I actually, when I got the TV, I did the Google and see, what I gotta adjust the colors here and there. I watched a movie on it. I was like, nah, man. And I went in and I boosted all the colors. I was like, I got a new TV. I want to make this look like boom,
The best thing to do, and it's pricey, but like proper calibration on a good TV is mind-blowing. It changes it a lot. Like to get it professionally calibrated.
Can you get the person to come and then be like, hey, but can you make this look like like more crazy? Like I want
it look great +1.
Plus, no, like I don't want anything muted. I want all the colors and the lights to pop.
Yeah.
Even if the film was supposed to be drab, I don't want that.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you walked that back. Okay, my number 2. This is one.
Wait, number 2
or the fourth one?
Fourth,
not ranking. Sorry.
No. But your the fourth film in your order, yeah.
Yeah. So
how are we still on number 2?
If we were ranking, it would have been like the second. Never mind.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
This is one that has not been released on 4K that I would upgrade in a heartbeat because of how many dark scenes are in this movie.
Oh.
I am going to go on a limb and say most people in the chat have probably heard of this, but I still think this is a very underseen film, and that is 2008's Let the Right One In.
Ooh, okay.
This is maybe a hot take. This is my favorite vampire movie of all time. I think this is such a unique storyline telling like this coming of age romantic drama between essentially what is a child and a very old person. And you don't realize that because of what's on screen, but the constant horror around these scenes, all like blanketed against the white snow of Sweden, is just perfection in cinema. I mean, there are so many scenes in this movie that you could look at and say, like, just this one scene is harsh coming of age in itself, but this entire story of anguish and hope that is there and then just completely lost when she starts pulling away from Oscar is painful. Like, you've now invested so much in these two main characters that the fact that they are just so inherently different that they can't do anything to be together, it hurts. It genuinely hurts. And then you get scenes like the swimming pool scene, which everybody knows as like one of the best scenes in this film, and it's so like empathetic at its root and yet like so violent in what it actually is. It's just beautiful filmmaking, and it's telling a story in a way that you care about everyone except for like the bullies that you're not supposed to, of course, but you care about them and can feel every emotion through the way that they're speaking about these things, through the way that the father figure is going out to feed essentially for our second main character, and watching the growth of the characters throughout this film is like the perfect encapsulation of this harsh coming of age. This is one of the first ones that I thought of because it's like beauty through bloodshed in a couple different ways. And every time I watch this, I fall in love again. And I purposefully have not watched it in like 2 years so that I could see it again with like just fresh, almost like yearning eyes for this story, because it's so unique. It's not a story that we get often. It's not like a true take on the Nosferatu tale or anything like that. It is just this beautiful attempt at young love in a way, and then you see Oscar grow from like this immense hope to feeling everything ripped away. And as somebody that's coming of age, you kind of have to go through that feeling a few times and understand true empathy because you've lived it. You've had actual experiences, and now, oh, I know not to be a dick to other people, or I know to be careful in romantic relationships, or whatever have you that you're trying to learn. This is great. I do want to give a shout out. I don't think it's bad at all. The US remake for this is quite good. Let Me In, starring Chloe Grace Moretz, is not, it's not quite as powerful as the original, which most of the US remakes of foreign horror from the last 20 years have never really captured much of that. But Let Me In is quite close. It is a very good story of this. I think that having the father figure be who is portraying that father figure in that movie is a very good choice. It's just really well made because the source material is astonishing. And as long as you're even remotely faithful to that, it's going to be a great movie, but it's never going to be Let the Right One In. This movie is just perfection.
Yeah, I saw that one maybe 10 years ago. I think I got like a DVD of it on sale or something, or like you know those like horror packs where they just throw 3 random movies together. So I think it was like Let the Right One In, Sick Nurses, and Time Crimes, like packaged together. Time Crimes is great too. I haven't watched any of those since I got it, but I should revisit that. I remember it being, as you said, really powerful and very haunting and unique too. I think that's something I really love, when you can come across a horror film that is just like, what? Like, this doesn't follow an expected formula or anything. And I do think that happens more so with horror outside of North America.
Yeah. And especially like not to like downplay the fact that it's another like exorbitantly white country, but we don't get Swedish films that break through a lot, and to get a good Swedish film is nice to see. And it's a completely different backdrop. I mean, as I'm talking about the bloodshed and the snow, Sweden is covered in snow so much of the year that you can portray something that it's a little easier for them to film, but also it's not the same type of like snowfall that the US gets. And so it's again like opening your mind to a completely different culture, because all of the scenes that they shoot in this like horseshoe apartment complex area that are on this playground, and you see this playground, but surrounded by so much snow that everywhere you go, it is loud to walk. You can see you can't see the ground anywhere. It's just a completely different vibe. And so it changes everything, because the whole movie feels cold, the entire thing.
True. It almost makes you wonder if it kind of does hit different if you are from Sweden versus watching it in, the States or somewhere
Yeah.
warm for most of
Yeah.
the year, That's
Watch this
interesting.
in Sydney.
Yeah, or I don't know, Mexico or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure it does, but I kind of love that like it kind of can transform outside of its region,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not really sure. I've grabbed two. I was like, I don't know which one to pick, but maybe I can talk about them both really quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because for one, like Come and See is like one of the best movies ever made of all time.
That's
To
all
the
right.
point where, what's that?
I said it's all right. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Are you one of those?
I'm just messing with you. We were just in that mood tonight. It was fun.
This is my face right now.
I
This
get
is
it.
Ted's face. I mean, this was a blind buy from Criterion because I heard it was so good, and when they finally put it out on Blu-ray, I was like, okay, I'm sure gonna love it. I threw it on, changed my life. I came of age watching it, some might say. I mean, the story is that the main actor, which was the young boy, the main character, was like put through such hell, making this that it's like he aged while doing it. But he seems pretty happy in interviews now. So
We survived.
he survived. It's all good. Yeah, I honestly, I don't even know really what to say about this one other than it is like the masterpiece of harsh coming of age cinema, and it
Yeah.
says so much about war and violence and just life. It's just an amazing film. But I do want to highlight this, which I think is like undersung from Severin. This release again, it was a blind buy, and it blew my mind. And it's actually such a fascinating collection, the Kinky collection. Highly recommend this if it's still out. So you essentially get in this collection Navajeros, El Pico, and El Pico 2. And it's really fascinating. Like there's documentaries on here that talk about it, how like the main character is played by this actor who was actually like a struggling heroin addict.
Yeah.
How about an instant transitioning from child to grizzled? Yeah. Yeah, I think are we talking about the same thing? What does it mean?
He's saying coming of age, like he's forced to be an adult immediately in that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, totally. So this is really fascinating. So with Navajeros, you get kind of a more like upbeat, fun exploitation film in a way, and then with El Pico 1, you get a very serious like heroin drama, and El Pico 2, you kind of get almost like a mixture of both films of like the fun exploitation romp and the serious heroin drama. They managed to like marry both those films really well. I'd say all three films are excellent though, and it's just amazing learning the backstory about how like Navajeros, for instance, is based on an actual criminal who became a celebrity. And is it a spoiler to say if it's based on a true story?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
not for these, because that's like the whole point of this genre, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I still feel weird about saying it because I mean, no one knows who the. Yeah. Anyways, I mean, it's a harsh coming of age film, so really bad things happen. But with Navajeros, you definitely see the loss of innocence, and I think it's that one. It's more about like mortality in a way. Like these kids think they're invincible, and then when they start dying off, they're like, "Wait a second," And prior to that, they were able to like rob anyone. And El Pico 1 and 2 have more heavily to do with heroin use. But as I was saying, the main actor, this guy here, was actually a heroin addict in real life. And I believe the director, Eloy de la Iglesias, was also a heroin addict. From what I remember it saying in the documentary was that they were lovers. And I think he died, this actor, in Eloy de la Iglesias is his apartment. So I think he got out of prison, went to his apartment. Eloy wasn't there, and in the span of a few days ended up overdosing on heroin. That's real life. That's not a spoiler. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, great set. This was a total blind buy as well. I just, man, the pandemic was rough, right, guys?
Remember
So,
those days?
yeah, no, I just remember coming home from work one day and being so bummed that I just blind bought the whole bundle at the time. And it was excellent stuff, too. I was like really happy with this. And just a reminder, sometimes you got to take a chance, you know?
I have liked everything I've seen from Eloy de la Iglesia. He is a really great director.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a few things. I haven't seen. There's okay. Wait, Mondo Macabro is releasing one that sounded really cool. That's
Maybe.
like sounded like Funny Games esque.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that was on my radar. I was like so on Murder in a Blue World. I think it was
Yeah.
what it's called. I was so on that. Didn't really like take go the distance for me. And Scream, the Scream Heard on the Street or something.
Scream in the Streets, yeah.
Yeah, that was okay too. But I love Cannibal Man, and I loved the Kinky Collection. The Cannibal Man would actually go great in like a good homoerotic, like horror film set. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because that's sort of like about that too. Yeah.
The Mondo Macabro releases Forbidden Game of Love.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I might have to grab that one standard at some point. Sounds cool.
De La Iglesia's Uranium Dream Set from Alternate Innocence is great, says
Oh,
Ronnie.
what's in that?
That one, let me pull up on the other tab. Uranium. I am typing it in wrong. 2 homosexual films. We get what are the titles? Hidden Pleasures and Confessions of a Congressman.
Okay, so then someone else. There was another one that they put out that sounded kind of like that, but I forget. It was like Pals or something.
Pals, yeah, that came out from Utopia or Yellow Veil, I think, through OCN.
Okay, is that good?
That one I've not watched yet, or maybe I did watch that one because I think that was on the Criterion Channel.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, they had a collection on there not too long ago, I think.
Yeah,
of his films. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
He's gotten a lot of releases over the last few years, and it's been truly nice to see because he does just great stuff. Great stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a really interesting character. Like, I'd love to see a full documentary on him. The documentaries that come with the Kinky Collection are like, like half-hour long, so they can't really dive too deep into it. But yeah.
Pals was
also,
Alternate Innocence.
okay, cool.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my last one. To like the average film goer, I don't think this one is mainstream. However, just like Let the Right One In, I'm betting that most people in here have seen this, but this is not a movie I talk about all that often. This is the film that I think of when I think of harsh coming of age, because it is similar to Let the Right One In. It's about like forlorn love in a way, but also just realizing that people are different and ideologies and family can truly shape the overall experience, even when you live across the street from people. And so I had to talk about 1999's I was seeing if you were going to figure that out then. The Virgin Suicides by Sofia Coppola.
Oh, I was thinking that when you said that. Yeah, 1999. Oh man, that's a great movie.
Yeah, so this movie, it's about a group of boys that fall in love with a group of sisters in another house, and they're all just these like pitch perfect, beautiful, luxurious white women with long blonde hair, and they're all raised to be like trad wife type of background, more like religious leaning household, and them trying to approach them to see what we can, try to establish any form of a relationship before it gets into like a romantic relationship, and seeing the relationships form. And obviously it's 5 sisters and 5 different dudes, so they're not all at the same age levels. Kind of like I talked about earlier with Tigers Are Not Afraid, you get to see like the awkward, very young sort of interactions with the older, like we're about to be full-blown adults interactions all mixed in because they're different ages across the spectrum here. But this movie boils over into a climax that truly lives up to the name of the film. And it is such a, especially looking back in 2025, a dark imagining about how super conservative traditional religion can take somebody and melt their brain in ways that can change people's lives, and the way that that affects those around them. I mean, this is a narrated story of somebody, I think he's like 40, 41 when he's telling this story, looking back on how his life was affected by what happened when he was younger. And watching this for the first time, I don't remember how young I was, but I was probably, I don't know, 23, 24. I certainly didn't see it anywhere near 99. I'm too young for that. But watching it later, having just walked away from religion and starting to find myself, this was like a, oh, fuck type of movie to watch. And seeing so many of these pieces of dialogue, but also like the way that these people acted, be things that I had seen before in friends, in family, being raised in a situation that felt this conservative, and not conservative in the political sense, but conservative in the like traditions and religious sense, is such a mind-opening experience when you're looking at it as like an alien situation, because that's how the story is being told. Like, it's from the male perspective of what was happening in that household. And the Virgin Suicides does not get enough love today. Like, this is a movie that was directed by Sofia Coppola as a first feature and is amazing. Like, this movie is beautifully shot. It is wonderfully done. It is acted with an ensemble cast that is, looking back now, kind of mind-blowing. I mean, Kirsten Dunst is incredible. Josh Hartnett is at like peak Hartnett here. I know he's like soured for a lot of people, but James Woods is great in this. Kathleen Turner is amazing. You've got other random people like Danny DeVito that show up in this.
Oh, yeah.
All of the interactions with all of the kids are so like awkward at the same time of just like so realistic and authentic, because it's authentically awkward. It's authentically like, can we just hang out and talk on the phone tonight for 20 minutes? And it's such a great perspective on growing up around this environment, which we don't get all that often.
That's amazing that, you know, like you're kind of explaining your deeper connection with it, kind of coming out of Christianity and everything. Because when I saw it as a kid, like, I didn't grow up with any kind of conservative or Christian upbringing. But the film felt very dreamlike to me, you know?
Purposely.
Yeah, and so it's interesting to hear your experience watching it, you know? Like, I didn't even occur to me that people would look at it that way, but that makes so much sense, you know? Like, to me, you're totally right that it's like about the oppression, I guess, of these girls. But for me watching it, and I guess this is how it connects to the other films I picked, is like, I still don't really know why the things happened why they did. Do you know what I mean? Like, like, why do they kill themselves? You know what I mean? Like, what? There's so many things in it that just kind of leave you, you know, it's like unanswered questions in a way, but that's kind of realistic to some degree, even though it feels like a dream.
It's certainly like ethereal, especially when you're in the traditional house. It is quite like, everything has this very soft framing. It's got the way that it's especially that last scene when you're actually getting to the climax of the film, and you're like creeping through this house, and like the edges of the wall feel like there's a cloud wrapped around it in a way. It's such a unique way to film it. And then, my God, the soundtrack of this is amazing, like everybody's saying in the chat, but the acting for all the sisters, especially Kirsten Dunst, like, she is astonishing in this movie. The emotion that it kind of feels in certain scenes like emotionless, and that in itself is an emotion based on how she's responding to those situations. this movie is a gift that just watching it again and again every single time is just it's an escape, which ultimately is what the ending of the movie was, is an escape, and
Yeah.
that itself is crazy. Yeah,
Mm.
adore this movie. Adore the fact that we got Sofia Coppola as a much better director than actor, obviously, and because this was good, it's
Yeah.
what got her to focus on that, and so it got
Sure.
us Lost in Translation and other
Love
magical
Lost in
moments.
Translation. Yeah. I think I need to reevaluate Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, it's quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I remember liking the aesthetic of it, but
Yeah,
yeah, I've only seen it the one time in theaters. That was it. I haven't really kept up with it. Oh no, you know what? I saw The Beguiled, is it?
The
The
Beguiled
remake?
is quite good, and not many
Okay.
people have seen it.
I
Yeah,
wasn't a fan personally, but I wasn't familiar with the original, so maybe I just didn't have the right context for it. I don't know.
the only one that I haven't like, I don't even know that I liked it. On the Rocks is rough. I even liked The Bling
Mm.
Ring quite a bit more than that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, I kind of forget. She kind of seemed to like keep making so many movies, but
Yeah,
wasn't really getting the same recognition as like those first two, you know?
no, and I've not seen Priscilla yet. I definitely need to see that one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot she did that. It's weird that that came out around the same time as Elvis,
Elvis,
though.
yeah.
Yeah, Kino
Chris is
Lorcan.
saying, wasn't Lost in Translation supposed to get a Kino a long time ago? It was supposed to, and that got canceled. The internal rumor is that Sofia Coppola herself blocked it, and it's supposed to be going to Criterion.
That makes more sense.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It should not have a Kino 4K. It should have somebody that's going to treat it a little bit better.
Hmm.
So that's
Wow.
it. Anything else that you would like shout out real quick instead of going deep diving
Shout
into
out Split Your Head podcast, where you can hear me talk to other people other than Ryan.
I meant other harsh coming of age films that you wanted to shout out.
Oh, you were like, okay, time to go. Plug your thing. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna run through the list I made quickly because I've tried to like put a list together on Letterboxd. So if you follow me on Bob McCully on Letterboxd, I post quite a bit and I write a lot of reviews. So yeah, okay. No one has seen this movie, and so I have to shout it out. And it is one of the harshest coming of age films. It's unfortunately the English title is The Notebook.
I I read about this one. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a Hungarian film. It's a World War II film about two little twin boys who basically become like Reese Pariah. I don't know that one. They basically like torture themselves. Is the best way to put it, to become like superhuman, like in a Freudian sense. It's really
Yeah.
harsh. I Start Counting is another great one. Jeremy is another great one. Christian F, I believe someone mentioned earlier in the
Yeah.
chat. Christian F is another fantastic one. Smooth Talk.
I've never seen Smooth Talk.
Oh, oh my god, you have to see Smooth Talk. It is really intense. It starts out like a normal like teen romance kind of film, and then the last half hour is like a psychological horror film. It's amazing. The Fan maybe would be considered one. I put The Wolf Pack on this list. I really love that documentary. Kids, yeah, kids would be on there for sure. Mysterious Skin,
Yeah.
Last Scenes of, yeah, exactly. They come out of nowhere, but the acting between, is it Treat Williams and Laura Dern? They're acting together in the final is for her throughout the. Oh, that was quick. Welcome to the Dollhouse is another good one.
Yeah.
I said eighth grade, right? Eighth grade blew me away. Love that film.
Love eighth grade.
Yeah, so good. Valerie and Her Week of Wonders. I mean, kind of a stretch. It's a bit more on the surreal side. It's also one of those films. I mean, similar to the fan, where like the underage actress aspect is like,
Yeah.
oh, American Pie. Man, I don't know. Okay, American Pie. Can we still enjoy those? Like,
I personally still like them.
I don't know. It's
they're
crazy.
weird. They're weird and cringe, believe me. But Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know.
There's movies from like 10 years ago that already feel weird with today's sensibilities. The hard part, I mean, so many of these movies, if you're just completely dismissing things because it's not up to today's standards, you're going to lose everything.
For sure, for sure. It's just one of those things you have to prepare yourself. Like my wife and I tried revisiting Superbad recently, and we're kind of taken aback a little bit by like the way they were talking. So I
Yeah.
was like, man, I don't remember talking like that in high school about girls and stuff. I was just like, this is
Yep.
crazy. But I don't know. We're all cut differently, I guess. And no, it's not like it's a bad movie. I think you just have to kind of be aware of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's movies. Gosh, some of the stuff that I went to show my kids that I saw young, and like 30 seconds in the movie, there's throwing around F slurs and stuff, and I'm like,
Oh,
okay, let's teach the 7-year-old what this means.
yeah. No, good call, good call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got thrown around a lot in the 90s. Can't Hardly Wait. Can't Hardly Wait. When was the last time you watched that?
When there was a Blu-ray that came out like 3 years ago. I think I watched it then. It's
Okay.
not. Yeah, I get it.
I didn't really think too much of it, but I had like one friend, like a gay friend of mine, basically just like ripping into that film. He's like, you don't understand what it was like for me as a kid watching that. And I was just like, really? I couldn't really remember it. And then watching it, I was like, oh yeah, that would have been devastating. And then like Ethan Embry's character is a fucking creep the whole movie. Like, what is this?
There's so many movies that just watching it now, you're like, how did they approve writing this? Like, this is just straight
Yeah.
bullying, and we're like doing it for laughs.
Yeah, true. The 80s was really bad for that, I think.
Very weird. Very
Yeah.
weird.
hmm We all
All
came
right.
of age watching them.
And they're quite harsh, that's for sure.
That's true.
All right, Split Your Head. Everybody needs to check out the show.
Mhm.
Do you have plans for upcoming episodes? Can you reveal, or is that a secret? Or
No, I mean, I have. So the way it works, I take a break from November to February. So I have 4 episodes left to put up. Only one of them hasn't been recorded yet. So I've got British. Good show. Oh, thank you. Balraj Kang. He is a British and South Asian filmmaker. He's on the next episode. I've got a discussion with Dr. Ethan Lyon and Jetta about 3 films focused on pain. One of them is the Bob Flanagan documentary, and 2 other films that are kind of like lesser known. I should be interviewing this guy who does RFN Pictures. He's got a couple horror movies, one coming out soon called Hellamare, I think it is. And then actually the one I'm really most excited about is going to be my final episode of the season with Lucky Cerruti, talking about his... Do you know that guy?
Lucky.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
He was my first interview ever.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, he's amazing. His new film, Box Cutter, is such a level up for him. I honestly like blown away by it. I would compare it to something like Jeremy Saulnier or S. Craig Zoller, like kind of in that sort of style. So I got to see the screener of it, blew me away, got to interview him, and that was a fantastic time talking with him. So I'm really excited because I feel like that's going to be a strong like final episode, and hopefully people get to see Box Cutter soon and be like, holy shit, who is this guy?
I need to see Box Cutter. I've liked pretty much everything he's done. I'm not going to remember the name of it right now, but the one where there's a couple people locked in the basement. Did you watch all of his stuff?
Yeah, yeah, that one is Kindness of Strangers.
Yes, Kindness of
Yeah,
Strangers. Yes.
it's sort of a little bit like that, but way more ambitious. Hail Mary, fuck you, and Atlantis. Wait, fuck you. What? Oh, okay. What did I say? Hellamare? Hellamare?
I'm not sure.
Oh, I love you, Corinne. Honestly, we've gone too far in the... Like, won't give people how boring, LOL. Oh, no, and I agree. No, that is a good point. I would agree with that. People should be unlikable, for sure. And I think John Waters said it best about, like, what he said something about, like, like, isn't a villain supposed to be a piece of shit, you know? And that's
Right.
true. And yeah, I agree. I don't want a sanitized version of everything for sure. Yeah, I think it just requires nuance is all. And I think don't get rid of these films. Just be aware, have conversations with people. You know, Ryan, if you're showing your 7-year-old son, like, yeah, you got to think about that thing, right? Oh, fuck you was their tagline. Okay, right. Okay.
Yes, I agree. I'm not trying to sanitize anything either, and I don't want movies to be made that are only allowed to be sanitized, because all
Yeah.
of those things exist and we need to keep the knowledge of that so that we don't go back to that. The hard part is in things like Revenge of the Fucking Nerds, which is creepy as shit,
Ooh,
where
yeah.
they are playing the rapist as the hero, and that's like that's a big win moment. Like, that is just like, that's too far gone. And I'm not saying that should be erased or anything, but also, what the hell were we doing in films? Like,
Yeah.
that's wild choice.
You know what? And I'll make this my last word on it. The most recent film that I think nailed what we're talking about is Sean Baker's Red Rocket. Because, like, I think, to me, that's my favorite film of his. And that was a protagonist who was a piece of shit.
Yep.
But
On purpose.
yeah, totally. But it was so exciting to watch, and not once were you ever like, they're condoning this, but you couldn't help but be like, lean in, be like, what's he gonna do next? You know,
Right.
They nailed that.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's not my favorite. I prefer Nora just slightly, but
Okay.
Red Rocket is, I think, of his not big films, Red Rocket is like his masterpiece, other than
Yeah.
Nora, which is, they're both amazing.
Oh yeah, I loved Nora. Yeah, it was great.
All right, everybody go subscribe to Bob. Obviously, he's amazing. You all probably love this tonight.
Woo!
He's incredible. Go listen to the show. Lots of past episodes. Just skip over mine and listen to everybody else's.
No.
No, I genuinely loved our talk. Going on your show this year was a highlight for me. It was a big conversation that we didn't even talk about a lot of the things I think we planned on talking about, and that's what made it great.
Listening back to it, we did actually, at the last half hour, get very down to business. But the first hour is basically just us talking about punk shows, house party shows, growing up. It's very nostalgic. It was cool. It was a really good chat.
Grateful you had me on. Everybody go subscribe to Bob. Next week, gonna be a fun show. Please come back next Thursday. It is one that is gonna be very interesting to see how it goes. I don't get a lot of chances to do this because there's not a lot of people willing / able to do it when it's this late. And for the first time in quite some time, I get a female guest, other than Rachel, who just came on. Rachel was amazing, but this is one that first off, you hopefully will be seeing an interview with her on the channel pop up before next Thursday. So let's check that out. Everybody, you're amazing. We'll see you next Thursday, Bob. You are amazing. Keep up the incredible work on the show. Can't wait for these interviews, especially Lucky. He's amazing.
Yeah, you'll like it for sure.
All right, we'll see y'all next time. Be safe this weekend. See ya.
Bye.
Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share it with someone else that may appreciate this.